This is the M Zone.
Welcome to the M Zone. Jamie Moore, Brandon Brown, and Big Sweet is in the house.
What's up, man?
How about you? Larry Lee is in the house.
So I got to learn. Is it J Mo or
it's J Mo? You call me J Mo
because there's another J Mo.
I know. Well, there's a lot of us.
That's true.
There's a lot of us. Everybody.
I just want to get the right.
You got it.
Okay.
You got it. I'm
J-Mo.
the old J Mo.
Oh,
you call me OG.
OG J Mo.
Exactly. Again, that's Larry Lee. Brandon Brown on the end, always holding it down.
Jamie, you've given me so many cool nicknames every time I've been on the show, but I've officially been unseated. Big Sweet is
Big Sweet.
That's the name.
That's the name.
I got to tell you one day the story.
And yes, he needs to tell the story. But let me. We are live here at Travis Pointe for the Charles Woodson event, golfing event. It's for the benefits of Charles Woodson Clinical Research Fund at University of Michigan Health, C.S. March Children's Hospital. It's the Woodson Fund. Ann Arbor knows it as the Woodson Fund. We're here to, making donations and different things like that. But we're here to, hopefully we grab some players out there, some former players that played at the University of Michigan and different things like that. I know, Big Sweet, you had some guys that you've been trying to pinpoint. We're going to try to grab those guys. And Brandon, I'm gonna get you guys that you were born in their time.
That's the goal today?
Yeah, let's get guys that were in your time.
I know we found out a little bit earlier. I don't know. Larry was like, God, you were born when?
So if you're an OG, what am I?
An OOG.
An OOG. All right.
But yeah, I mean, it's great. It's great to be here. Great to be here on a nice day at a golf course. How about that? This is a gorgeous course, and I love to see green grass.
Yes,
green grass is beautiful.
Weather cooperating with us for now.
Yes.
For right now,
it's gonna be all right. I think. Wasn't so much earlier. We heard.
No, they when Sam and Ira.
Yeah.
I guess 25 minutes before they were getting ready to shut it down, torrential downpour.
Yeah. Well, it's nice now.
Let's hope we don't have that downpour. That's all.
Let's go. Yeah.
I mean, it would be nice. I guess I saw Brian Greasy over there in the corner. Got a chance to see Glenn Steele. I heard Brandon Graham was here.
Be good.
He was on the radio, so I'd love to get him back on the radio and talk to him. And then whoever we can grab.
Absolutely.
Find out what they've been doing, what they shot, and what they really shot.
Ooh.
If you know what I mean.
They got to play it pretty honest out here, don't they? If they're part of because there's a scoreboard down there. I mean, they're keeping track. Like, I don't think there's a lot of. No, I don't.
What happens on the golf course happens on the golf course.
Jamie's looking at me like I'm crazy saying that, but
when you scramble, if Charles wins, then you got to look at
Charles ain't winning.
When you scramble, you're supposed to be able to get one good shot out of four.
Right.
No, Jamie?
No, that don't happen. You're talking about former athletes, guys that'll lie about their golf game because they don't get enough time to play. That's all I'm saying. You don't get enough time to play. You're just doing all kinds of things all the time. You're getting ready for your craft. So golf is not their craft.
And this is almost the time where after the OTAs where everybody will shut it down for the month of June before training camp actually starts in July.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, I mean, really, we want to thank these guys for coming out and being a part of this golf outing because it's a great golf outing. Benefits a lot of great things and different things at C.S. Mart's Children's Hospital. And looking forward to, enjoying ourselves.
Well, what an ambassador and Charles, you can't get any better than Charles Woodson.
Well, there's a young man.
Michigan.
There's a young man who left, like you, left the state of Ohio.
Right.
Came up here. He was, he was the quote unquote best running back in
Fremont
Ohio.
High School.
I just can't believe this.
Fremont Ross High School.
Best high school. Best running back. He comes up here. They moved the defensive back.
Yeah.
He wasn't too happy about that at the beginning.
Did he play for Bowl?
No. Played for Lloyd Carr.
He played for Lloyd. Okay, because Bo was kind of notorious for that.
Yeah, he'll switch you quick.
Bo, when he recruited me, we'll get into that. I was a All-American offensive lineman,
Right.
and Bo wanted me to play nose tackle. And I told you the story about why I didn't go to Michigan.
Right, you did.
There is one guy that caused me not to go to Michigan. His name was Calvin O'Neill. I came on my recruiting trip to Michigan.
He's in the history books, Brandon.
His name was Calvin O'Neill. When I walked up to him and I saw him look like the Hulk, like Ben Grimm as a inside linebacker, and I'm this little high school offensive lineman, I go, wait a minute, that's what linebackers look like in college, and I'm supposed to go against him every day? I am not going to Michigan. And I told him that story years later. I'm not going to Michigan going against the Hulk every day. You never heard of Calvin O'Neill?
I mean, I've heard the name, but
my God.
I couldn't picture him.
Oh, he's a beast, man.
He was a beast.
You can see every muscle God gave him.
Next time you see John Wangler, ask him about practice.
Yeah, well.
Practicing against Calvin O'Neill.
Wangy Tangy.
He can tell you about it. He can tell you all about it.
Oh, Calvin O'Neill was a beast, man. I didn't go to Michigan because of Calvin O'Neill.
I mean, there's a lot of reasons why people don't go to things. I get it. I get it. Wait a minute. If Big Sweet did go, Calvin O'Neill must have been a beast.
He was. I'm telling you, I was this All-American offensive lineman
right
out of high school.
Uh-huh.
I come on my recruiting trip, and he's my host.
He hosted you.
And I said, he looked like he should have been a left tackle, and he was an inside linebacker. I said, college linebackers are built like that? And Michigan, going against him every day? No, I'm not doing it. I teased Calvin and tell him the story. And years later, whenever I ran into Bo Schembechler at an NFL function or whatever, he would say, Lee, we won without you anyway. And I said, yes, you did, Coach. Give me a big hug, man. Yeah. Bo, I ended up having a great relationship with Bo and Coach Hanlon.
There you go.
Every year prior to training camp, when I was playing in the NFL, I would get a note from Coach Hanlon. Larry, have a great season. Stay healthy, Coach Hanlon.
Right.
That's class.
That's awesome.
That's class.
And that's Jerry Hanlon. He was class. He was one of the great offensive linemen. And if you knew Coach Hanlon, he was as short as me.
Yeah.
Fortunate enough to know him and have several meals with him. And that might be one of the funniest dudes on the planet, first of all.
Love Coach Hanlon.
And
you see him yelling at offensive linemen. The man
the funny thing is, I feel like you can. Like he just has it. Some people just have that kind of thing. He's got that, even though he could probably fit inside some of those dudes' helmets.
But isn't it funny how all the small guys end up being the O-line coaches? I had a coach at UCLA, Don Riley. He had to be 5'7", 180 pounds. He was the O-line coach. And man, my man Jim McNally, the old long-time Bengals.
Yep.
Pee-wee. Why did all the little guys become offensive line coaches? What was the reasoning behind that?
I don't know. I just know that he got the job done.
Yes.
Yeah,
and the players would listen to him, and they made Jerry Hanlon was one of the greatest offensive line coaches that you could.
Going back to my era was Bubba and Bubba Paris and John Giesler. I played with Dolphins with Big John Giesler, and that was Coach Hanlon's group, man, and he handled them well.
That's what I'm talking about right there. We already into it. I'm getting right into the meat of it, man, talking about it. I mean, it's just, but this is a great opportunity to talk about this golf outing and bringing guys together. It's kind of a reunion of the 97 team, Brandon, if you think about that. About the 97
I'm with you on that one. I was
13.
I was my formative years a little bit right there. But yeah, no, that one's in my wheelhouse.
Well, you were really U of M slappy around then.
Big time.
Oh, yeah,
big time.
No doubt.
He can tell you that whole team, I bet.
I bet, yeah.
That's when you're starting to figure it out a little bit and starting to play. I was starting to play myself a little bit at that time.
Yeah.
I'm starting to play sports. And so, yeah, for sure. Remember 97. Yeah, the 79 Joe Green commercial we were talking about. You guys had me on that one. I didn't know that one.
Ladies and gentlemen, we tried to tell Brandon about the mean Joe Green Coke.
I
commercial.
vaguely remembered it, but 79. That's 5 years
That's
before I
a
was born.
classic.
That is a classic. They play it all the time on Super Bowl commercials.
Have a
It's
Coke.
probably the best Super Bowl commercial ever made.
Have my Coke, Mean Joe. Thanks, kid. Oh man,
Yeah,
that's
I
a
pulled it up. I
classic.
did pull it up on YouTube, and it had a lot of views. So I feel like I need to watch it a couple times.
One
and
of the
get-
all-time classics.
it almost made it was making people cry.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mean Joe. I mean, that was the greatest thing.
And he's limping into the locker room, man, after the game, and this little kid. And then years later, they did a reunion.
They did a movie on it.
Yeah,
They did a
they?
movie. Yes,
Oh, okay.
they put a full-fledged movie. That commercial was so strong. He did a movie. They did a movie with it.
I gotta figure it out. I guess. I
Yeah,
don't
you
know.
got it. Yeah, man, we're gonna have
I gotta
to.
catch up.
The OG and the OGG is gonna have to get you together, man. We got to get. You're gonna get a lot of history.
I
on this
realized
show,
that
okay?
when we met when I met Larry last week. After he left, I was like, can we let's listen to him talk all day? Let's just
Right.
Yeah.
That right there, you're doing the best thing right there. Listen.
Yeah, man.
I'm
I
full of
can do
stories.
that.
I'm full of stories, and I'll give you everyone I ever tell will be true.
Yeah, that's the way it is.
It's great. It's great to hear and great to have Larry a part of the M Zone as well as Brandon.
I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing up here with you two guys, but I love it, man.
What are you talking about?
I'm all about it.
Yeah, man.
You keeping it
man,
straight.
the myth, the legend.
Exactly. You keeping it straight up here.
Yeah.
I love it, man. It's fun.
Look, I'm just saying that this course is wonderful. There's the clouds are in, but there's no dark clouds.
No.
So I'm just saying that.
Nice little breeze.
I like the breeze.
Yeah, me too, man. Nice little breeze. Can't beat this.
No, this is the life. I can do a remote almost every week.
Pro athletes.
We always have fun on the remotes, man.
We do.
We
We
really
do.
do.
We have a good
People
time
are
on
so
the
good
remotes.
to us, man.
That's great.
Yeah.
No, this has been great. We're having a great time. I mean, it's been great. So I gotta bring this up. I know you guys probably didn't watch, but there was a basketball game on last night, and Indiana Pacers against the Oklahoma City Thunder, and I'm not gonna lie to you. To me, and Big Sweet said it before we came on. I told you. You knew that Oklahoma City did not want to win that game after the first 5 minutes in that game.
I don't want to sound like the old OG here, but back in the day,
Right.
how can a team be up 3-2 and lose a game by 20-something points?
They were down 30 at one point.
No motivation.
That means they didn't want to be there.
Yeah.
That
No
means
motivation.
let's wait till the next one and try. Back in the day, that would have never happened between Magic and Bird and Isaiah and Jordan. It would have never happened. They
No.
would have been at each other's throats all game, 6, 7, however many games, and it's still entertaining. It is still the NBA, and they are the best athletes in the world, but I just don't understand the lack of killer instinct.
Lazy
anymore.
There have been a lot of blowouts in the playoffs this year. A lot, all rounds, both sides, Western
So
Conference.
it's all
Eastern
or
Conference.
nothing. There's no consistent going after a guy's throat.
Yeah.
You know, so it makes it a little hard for me to watch. And this is just my opinion, and I'm entitled to it.
Yeah.
The NBA, to me, doesn't really play until the playoffs.
Yeah.
They
There's a lot
kind of
people
just
that
go
say
through
that.
the motions kind of during the season, and there's no really killer instinct from those guys. And I just saw something on the internet where Magic was on someone's show, and he talked about their love for playing each and every game every night and coming out and playing and going at each other's throats, and the back behind the after the game stories, going to the bus, and that kind of thing. It's not like that anymore.
No, you got load management. I don't even know what that is, but it's quote unquote players taking the game off.
I mean, it's across all sports. You got, guys are on snap counts, guys are on pitch counts,
Right.
guys are on load
Yep.
management. It's
And
just kind of the way it is now.
I guess I get it, but I don't get it. I wasn't raised that way.
Yeah.
Me neither. Now you brought up another subject. pitch count. I don't understand, and someone help me out here. I'm, if a guy is pitching a no-hitter or got a great game going, a one-run game or something, and he's at 110 pitches, you take him out, okay, as a coach or whatever. How do you know his threshold? How do you know if he's a 140 pitch guy? How do you know if he's a 130 pitch guy if you just never push the envelope with him? Like running backs, Jamie.
Analytics.
You don't know if a guy is a 30, 40 carry back a game if you don't carry him 40 or 30 times a game.
Exactly.
You got to find out if he's a bell cow kind of running back.
Right. Agreed.
So I know baseball players and pitchers might be mad at me about that one, but I don't understand. I don't understand not pushing to see what the limit is. Now, once you determine a limit, then okay. But I use the running back example. You don't know if a running back can carry the ball 40 times a game and carry your team if you don't give him the chance to try to do 40.
Yeah, Jamie hit it on the head, the analytics movement. I mean,
that's what it is.
Trying to project,
analytics.
Trying to project and predict, avoid injury. It's different now because of the money involved. I mean, you got $100 million player. It's
right.
That's true.
You can't. You can't put. I'm not disagreeing with the sentiment, but it's a little different.
It is.
And guys want to be out there and be available at the most important times.
Right.
Baseball, especially. I mean, the injuries seem to be so much more common now for pitchers, and we talked about this before. Guys even getting the preventative. Getting the Tommy John surgery
Tommy John
surgery.
Even hurt. Now you just get it. You just get
it's like
it.
getting your tonsils out.
So you get right.
So you don't
but
get sick.
But if you get it, that means you're a decent enough pitcher. And once that thing heals,
it's supposed to be okay.
You're gonna be great.
Yeah, it's just I mean, they never did that back.
No,
I guess call me an OG dinosaur. I guess
things change. I mean, I'm getting like I said. I mean, we talked about. I mean, I'll be 41 in 10 days, and I'm starting to yell at the clouds a little bit here and now every once in a while, just to yell about something. It happens. The game passed you by a little bit, and it's not what you remember or what you loved.
I tease my wife. I say in the mornings when I wake up, I get up in sections.
Right.
I loosen the ankles first, then I loosen the knees, then I move my hips around a little bit, and then the shoulder. I get up in sections.
That's funny.
I haven't had to do that yet, but I also didn't play 20 plus years of beat myself up football either. So there you go. I don't know.
Yeah. What's the old saying? You don't feel football till you turn 50.
Exactly.
Or something like
exactly.
That. Well,
you'll feel it sooner or later. It'll come around.
It'll come around.
Yeah. It's just look. I know that I'm old, and I say that to everybody. And no, I don't tell people I'm old, but I people see that I'm old. I walk on the streets. I do all kinds of things, trying to stay in shape and try to do the things, eat right, do all of those things. Don't eat this. I gave up red meat. I gave up pork. I gave up this. I gave up that. I've done it all. But the idea of guys not playing basketball, guys not playing baseball, account and all of those things, that just don't sit right for me. And I can't accept it. Yeah. Now, I'm going to be that old man. Get off my lawn. I'm sorry. Sometimes I'm going to be that way. It's just the way I sit.
Yeah, I once again, being the OG, and there's some things, and I try to be progressive. I try to keep up with the times, and, I don't know if everyone knows my history, but, I did a lot of years as an executive with the Lions in the front office. So we had to think about a lot of things differently, and that kind of changed my mind about some things. So I was blessed to be one of those guys that go from downstairs to upstairs and making decisions.
Was you mad at people?
Huh?
Was you mad at people when you found out the truth?
Every now and then.
I'm just saying.
But
when you became that executive, you had to make executive decisions sometimes.
And sometimes you just learn that you have to eat crow.
Right.
There's times when you can assert your authority. Then there's times where you got to eat crow.
Right.
But always I tried to do what was best in the interest of the team.
Right.
And kept it business. And any of the guys that was on the team when I was in the front office, like Barry and Herman Moore and all those guys, one thing they don't know about Big Sweet, I shot them straight all the time.
Yeah.
Now, there was times where I couldn't say anything or I knew the answer.
Right.
And I just say, hey, we just got to play this one out, man. I know the answer. And then there was times I gave them tidbits and told them some things I probably shouldn't have told them.
But
But I always treated them with respect and like men. And that's what I thought that they deserved. And that's all pro athletes. I think the better teams do better when there's coaches and executives that just shoot the guys straight and not BS them and not, talk around the corner, beat around the bush or do something behind their back, unhandedly, something along those lines.
Got to imagine that's going away too. Like people in the front offices don't act that way anymore either. And it trickles down to the players. And so you get what we see, like we're talking about with the basketball guys wanting to take nights off because they're not pushed the same way by guys like that. It just, it's everybody's different now. I mean,
there's an old saying, subordinates are clones of their leader.
Sure.
I agree with that.
I just always believed in they were men and we're going to shoot them straight. And no matter what the subject, no matter what the topic, we can talk about it. I can come to you as a man, look you in the eye. Now, you have business to conduct as a player, and I have business to conduct as management. But I also was a player, so I kind of understand your thoughts. As long as you come to me man to man or have your agent come to me man to man and we talk civilly, I'm good with anything. We can talk about anything. And I'm going to give you a straight answer, and I expect the same from you. And I think conflict resolution is a lost art today. That's just my opinion.
So what happens now when Oklahoma City goes back home and messes around and loses Game 7 because they didn't feel the need to put them away in Game 6?
That'd be an interesting topic,
right?
That'd be something worth discussing.
We've talked about it before he went live. Like Indiana just keeps doing things they're not supposed to do.
That's right. That's their MO.
Win by 30, win by 20, when they're down 3-2, like you said.
Exactly.
And now it's 3-3, and now they got to go back to OKC.
Right. Look, I've heard this before from everyone. When you get to Game 7 or the last game, that's up for grabs now. Because you've had time.
I mean, Indiana's already won there. They're not scared to go to that
They're
place.
not afraid to go there.
No. But you're up 3-2. Shouldn't you smell blood?
I would think so.
Shouldn't you want to just close this thing out and become world champion rather than leave it somewhat up to chance?
It could be It could be a little more fun to win the whole thing at home, but it's not going to be fun if you lose it at home.
But winning is winning. I mean? Winning is winning.
They got a chance to maybe not win it at all now. And I just
Indiana did beat them.
I mean, I don't think for 1 second that they went in and had like a team meeting. Like, we don't need to win tonight. But you could tell by the way they played.
It's the way they
played. It wasn't urgent.
It's the way they moved around.
It wasn't urgent.
It wasn't urgent.
Did you see when SGA patted my man on the back and they're laughing and joking? You're getting your butt kicked.
And they ended up not even playing the whole fourth quarter. The starters. Like,
they'll end up. Well, he had to pull.
I mean, at that point, but I'm saying,
you're down by 30. I mean, if
you
you're
were not in
30,
that game,
you ain't coming back.
No.
I just, I got to get used to that. I'm old school. I like to see the Magic and the Birds go at each other's throat, and you drive down the middle, and my boys, the bad boys, they take you on down. My boy. Rick Mahorn.
Well, you ain't going down the middle.
No.
Not down that lane. You're not going down that lane.
I was blessed when I was playing for the Lions. We used to share the Silver Dome with the Pistons. So a lot of the times we practice at the same time they would. And I'm tight with all those guys to this day, but I'm especially tight with Rick Mahorn. I'll tell you the story. One day we finished practice early, and we walked by. They were over there practicing. And I yell out, "Hey, Mahorn, you're supposed to be over here with us." And Mahorn said, "You dumb MFs. He said, y'all don't make enough money." And me and Rick Mahorn been buddies ever since. To this day. That's my guy. But, that –
He probably could have played tackle.
Huh?
He probably could have played tackle, huh?
He'd have been a nice tackle. So those were the days – you come down the middle, Lambeer and all those guys was waiting on you in the middle.
No doubt.
That day has changed. They'd probably be suspended half the season now.
Yeah.
Well, we need to go to a break.
Yep.
And you're listening to the M Zone here live at Travis Point here on Golf. It's Golf on Main here. And we're waiting on the golfers to see what scores they'll bring in from the course itself. You're listening to the M Zone on the Big 1050.
Clear.
Mary, Mary, why you bugging?
Oh yeah, we got to get into old school and new school music with you, Brandon.
finishing some laundry stuff, and then I got my kid woke me up at 7. I'm like, bro, I'm tired, man. Drove to my hometown and back already today. That's 3 hours of driving today.
I did that show last night. It usually takes me a day.
Just made it in.
My coffee.
Yeah, I could lay down.
Show tomorrow. Big show tomorrow.
Nice.
Y'all don't mind talking music.
No, you can talk music. You can talk anything. We're gonna talk about golf games.
These on location shows are kind of whatever pops up. They got a little different feel than a studio show.
I mean, we don't have a whole lot to talk about.
This is the M Zone.
And welcome back to the M Zone at the Golf on Main tournament here at Travis Pointe. I'm just going to say this, Jamie Morris, Larry Lee, Big Sweet himself, and you got Brandon Brown, the chi of the group.
Hey, we got BB and LL.
Yeah.
You got JM.
Okay.
I was just thinking that too. We had a
I was
couple.
just trying to find some
kind
of
you
correlation.
got JM. I mean, hey,
that's close.
You can't forget MM back on the one.
And Eminem back at the
Yeah.
course. They got to talk about the Miz,
Mizler.
man. That's right. Got the Eminem back there.
Yeah.
Can I get a Zaya?
Yeah. That being said,
We got Bobby down there. Just got some flowers, I think. Bobby got some flowers?
Bobby
Got an admirer?
Bobby
It's a
must
shirt and
be
it's
in
a-
trouble. He
Uh-oh.
something must have happened this morning because he in trouble because he took flowers and he ran to the car.
Uh-oh.
So he did something. Maybe he got up too early. Maybe he did something. You over there getting flowers. Who you getting flowers for? Yeah, okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Bobby trying to get out
That
the
ain't-
doghouse.
No, you trying to get out the dog.
What?
That's okay. That's okay. I got it.
We've all been there.
Flowers were pushed on me. I went down there for T-shirts.
Oh, okay.
He tried to get free
He's
stuff.
getting some
Uh-oh.
swag.
He tried to get some swag.
Yeah,
Speaking
I
of
know.
swag.
Swag.
Speaking of swag. All I'm gonna say is they're playing what are they playing? Are they playing
Scramble.
a scramble?
Yeah.
That's the best.
That's fun.
That's best.
You know, you can
It ain't wait a minute. I'm gonna tell you this. If you don't have a hitter and he can hit it straight, it ain't no fun.
well
no.
that's
It don't matter if you got 4 or you got 1.
you gotta,
The best thing to have is a lady on your team that can come off
That's-
the tee
Yeah.
real well because
Yeah.
she's already got the advantage of the from
be a
her
little
spot,
closer.
and if she can hit it pretty good and straight down the middle, that's
See, I heard this morning. I mean, it goes by age too, so you can move up on the age. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So you can move up. I had a birthday, so I could move up. I just found that out.
Well, we won't talk about age or birthday.
Well, we ain't got to talk about birthdays. I'm just saying. I mean, this looks like a great course to hit. I hit it.
does.
Well,
what?
you just gotta find someone for each part
Right.
of the course.
You
You find your long guy off the tee.
Right.
You find your guy who's money with the putter.
Right.
You
Yeah,
find your little
that's
short
true.
game guy, and then you try to piece it together.
That's true.
That's what that is what makes the scramble fun. And then every once in
That's
a while,
exactly what you got to do.
somebody who can't drive will crank one out there, and they feel like they just won the day. The scramble's fun, man.
Yeah.
It's an inconsistent way to play because I love playing golf, but I'm very inconsistent. But if we can scramble and use 10 of my shots throughout the day, that's
There's
cool.
there's
That's fun.
another
Right.
Yeah.
scramble game I remember playing called like Pink Lady or something,
Uh-huh.
where every group has a pink ball,
Right.
and at some point in time, everyone has to use that pink ball during
Your shot.
your shot.
Okay.
So and so when it's the pink ball and you shanking into the woods,
Mhm.
you see people over there for 20 minutes trying to find that ball because once they lose that ball, they're done.
Right. You got to come back with
You
it.
got you're done. So that was an interesting game. I remember.
That's not a
playing.
bad game. I like that.
Yeah,
That-
the pink
that's a-
lady.
that
It's
would
your
be
turn, and
good.
then it puts the pressure on you when the ball is, your turn to hit the pink ball, and you're like, oh my God, okay, I got to hit this straight.
I've never heard of that before. I'm reading about it right now. It's you change who uses the pink ball
Right,
every
yeah.
hole, and
Yeah,
you have to use that
You
person's
have to-
score. If
exactly.
they're the pink ball player, You use that person's score and then the low score. I don't know. I just heard about that's the first time I ever heard of that.
Yeah,
that sounds fun.
We used to play that a few times, and if you got the pink ball and you shank,
you got to you trying to find.
You got to man. I've seen groups half hour in the woods trying to find that ball.
It also goes by money ball, devil ball, or you can use a pink ball, yellow ball, whatever.
Yep.
But that specific ball, when the person has it that hole, they gotta play that hole, and you gotta use that score.
That ball. Yep.
That's fun, man. That's cool.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I've never heard of that before.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
That forces everybody to have some what am I trying to say? Some good shot or not.
Ira
good
just
shot.
came in. Are you done?
Some serious
You're
shots.
done?
Everybody has
guys
an
are starting to
that
come
way.
in then, huh?
Everybody has an impact that way.
Everybody has an impact.
If you're the weak link on a scramble team, you literally might not use one of your shots all day.
Exactly.
You just go sit in the cart and ride around. You that guy.
Yeah.
You that guy that everybody wants.
Your cart guy.
Yeah. The beer cart guy. That's exactly what you need.
Beer cart guy.
If you throw the pink lady out there, you better play at least one good hole.
That's right. You got to play one good
That's
hole.
funny, man. That's cool.
Get him early.
Yeah.
You got to get him early. That's
Get
what
him
you got to do.
early,
Yeah.
Give me the ball early.
Exactly. Get him the ball early.
Who's the weak link? Let him
he's
get the pink lady on the par 3.
But you can tell when it's the ball that's out in trouble.
That's funny.
Because they're all hunting for it. They're all on the ground, crawling, looking for it. It's funny. It's funny.
Yeah, that is cool.
So they can't lose that ball.
Can't lose that ball.
You got to have that ball on the team. That's
you
on the
lose
team.
that ball, the day is over.
That's
for you.
Better watch out for the water hazards, man.
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly.
That's the truth.
I'll be in there.
There's not. Well, there's a.
They're starting to come in.
They're starting to trickle in a little bit here.
They're trickling in. Don't worry. I mean, they're trickling in when you see Ira.
Yeah,
Ira's down there. He's talking. He's doing all this thing. I think he's got his card. We should ask him. How'd you do, Ira, today? He's giving us a thumbs up. Okay.
I see some helmets down there, Jamie. That might look familiar to you.
Yeah, I
like that. Are they
Yeah.
raffling those? What are they doing with those?
I think they're gonna get signatures on them.
Oh,
that's what you do. You set them out. They got you put
what's the official
winged helmet?
Winged helmet. Okay.
Winged helmet. It's winged helmet.
WINGED.
Yes. Winged helmet.
Winged helmet.
Right.
Now I'm gonna admit to something here.
Do you know why the winged helmet came into existence?
It was something about aviation or flying.
It had nothing to do with aviation. What are you talking about?
It was a bird.
Thank you. Because
see it.
Everybody back in the day,
the
leather helmet day, everybody had the same leather helmet.
That's
when Jamie Morris was playing.
It was brown. So they colored them winged helmet. Blue.
I got you.
Maize.
Put a little bit of gold paint on there. Maize.
Now, you will admit that's an iconic scenario for Michigan. That helmet stands out.
It's the greatest
like a
thing.
sore
It was
thumb.
the greatest thing ever made.
No, come on.
I'm just gonna tell you.
Greatest thing
You
ever.
guys want to know what the helmets are for? We're watching it right now. This is a couple of guys in my group, and there were a couple of holes that you paid money, obviously make a donation, and then you got on the green, and you win the helmet.
Okay. So you win the helmet. You gotta run around and get his sign.
So actually, Jim bet on Nolan. Nolan got it, so he's actually to keep it, even though the other guy bet on him. He didn't get it himself. The other guy's
money on the better golf.
After he hit the shot, so there he is getting his helmet. And
yeah, okay. Did you stack your group?
No, I did not.
Did they use a shot of yours?
Plenty.
Okay.
Welcome to Travis Point. This is my home course.
I know. This is your home
Welcome
course.
to Travis Point.
I listen to the morning show.
So we had a lot of fun this morning here. I spent a lot of time here, and so we had a great time on the course. I say 6 under, but just about everybody on 18 is going to make a donation where you shoot a cannon,
right?
And then the ball lands, and then you just pick up and you go to the green, and there's a marker on the green, and then you're putting there your second shot. So we ended up not making it. We got 3, so we're like a 4 under plus a gift 2 under.
Okay,
to have it, but we had fun. We had a good time.
That's good.
That's what it's all about.
After the rain or anything, I mean, did the rain hamper you in any way?
No, so it was I mean, the team did a great job here, and they'll tell you in the last 5 minutes of the show this morning, it just Rocky had come out and said, "We're going to delay a little bit. There's going to be a little bit of rain," and then we're like, "There's going to be rain," and then boom, someone
You
turned the
know,
ball
it didn't
on.
rain anywhere else in Ann Arbor.
Just right here.
That's right here. I'm serious.
Yeah, it was a dot, but we got it pretty good for like maybe 15, 20 minutes, but it didn't slow the green.
Okay.
Yeah, we just went off a little late, and everybody's having a good time, and I'm sure a lot of scores will be better. And the key to winning, I think, or being good at one is to not go too hard last night.
Oh,
yeah, too hard last night. They might start.
That wasn't bourbon night last night.
No,
was
bourbon
it?
night was Tuesday
Right.
night. Last night was the event on Main.
Okay.
So, and some of those guys, so Rocky the Pro, he told me maybe I should not.
Rocky the Pro was good to go today, huh?
He came on with us at like 8 or 8.
Right. I heard him this
But
morning.
he
I was
said
on my
he
Starbucks
checked
phone.
his ring cam. He said he got home at 2.
Wow.
I got home earlier than that. I had to be here. I got home earlier than that. But it's great to have you guys here.
No, thank you.
We'll have some guests coming up at some point as people start to come up. We were pretty quick, and there was probably another like 15, 20 minutes. We were pretty quick.
So how many helmets are you giving away?
So I guess anybody that made a donation and hit a green gets the prize on that green, and that specific hole you get a Michigan helmet.
Oh, okay. All right.
There they go.
How many teams are out there? How many foursomes? 130 golfers. Okay.
Nice.
So that's
Wow. Good turnout.
Oh, is it 5?
Fivesomes.
There's foursomes of groups and then a fifth with them.
Gotcha. Good stuff.
So
Good
our
stuff.
group
Good turnout.
had to endure me a little bit, but helmet. So you'll do that when you go to the break.
Yeah.
Say hello.
No, it's nice of you to come by. I
Pleasure to
know
meet
it's
you.
good
Yeah.
because you're out. You know the conditions out on the course and everything. We
Of course,
appreciate
great
that.
day. We had a lot of fun out there, and I'm sure that there will be a lot of good scores that people have a lot of good stories to tell.
Well,
Awesome.
it
They're
was
starting to
great.
come in.
Friends with the radio. We'll have
Some of them will be. You never know. It's going to be great. And what's that TV telling everybody? Does that have scores?
It might be the
no, I don't remember what's on that TV.
Okay.
It's just maybe it's a slideshow for the event. Honestly, I walked by it so quickly. I was so focused on coming up to say
I
hello.
appreciate you coming up then. That's
Nice
All right, I got to go turn in
it.
my scorecard. I think I haven't turned that in yet, so I better go turn
Yeah.
that in.
If it's wait a minute.
You did not win anything.
You said,
under.
you said 6 under?
Exactly.
You don't need to turn it. I'm just joking.
I said this on the air, and I was telling the guys in the course. An open balls of ours was, I guess I can say it now. Really can't get in trouble. He was horrifically bad at golf.
Right.
I was the guy carrying the group, and I was not playing then. Though I'm playing fairly well right now, and I was not playing then the way I'm now.
No, he belongs to this course. Yeah, right.
Advantage. So I would hold the card, and I'd see our terrible number, and I would hold the card, and we did it a couple times, once here and once at Oakland Hills, and I held the card, and then I would see somebody post something worse than us, and I go,
Yeah.
But if we were the worst, I was never going to be.
That's funny. Thanks, Ira.
Thank you. Yeah.
That's Ira Weintraub from the Michigan Insiders.
Awesome.
It's great to
The
have him in
winged
here.
helmet.
Yes, the
I'm
winged
st- I'm-
helmet.
I'm still on the winged helmet.
A
Yes.
couple of them getting claimed down
There
there.
are two other schools, Big Sweet, that have winged helmets. Can you name two of
I
them?
did see it somewhere else. Where did I see? Like North Dakota or something? Or
Nah.
I think I got it.
East Coast, bro.
East. Oh, where? That's a Colgate.
That's one.
There's one.
Delaware.
There's one.
Delaware.
Where's the other?
I don't know. I
You
didn't
gotta,
see.
be, you gotta be real smart.
You gotta be smart to get
Well,
into this
Well,
school.
that left me out.
And actually, I think is the old.
They just went back to it.
They still didn't. Michigan took it from them.
Who's is it?
Right.
Is it a Ivy
Michigan
League?
It
took
is.
it from them.
Ivy League school.
Yes.
It is an Ivy League
Harvard?
school.
Nope.
Nope.
Yale,
Nope.
Nope.
Colgate.
Nope.
How many Ivy Leagues?
You got a couple. Got a couple more.
Who? Penn? No, Penn.
Princeton.
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 Orange and
you know,
black.
that's
Orange and black.
that's Bill Ford Jr.
Oh, was he?
He's a Princeton grad.
Ooh,
He and I
look
used to
at
go
that.
at it all the
Oh,
time.
did you?
When not the Lions, when UCLA
Right.
would play Princeton in the tournament or anything, me and Bill go tooth and nail, man. And you know, in the Final Four and everything. So yeah, Bill is a Princeton grad. Yeah, Bill Ford Jr.
That's cool. I
Yeah.
never knew that.
Yep.
Never knew
That's
that.
the old wing. Yeah, they went away from it and now they have it back.
Yeah, they brought it back.
Yeah.
That's why I said two, because it used to be just one other school, Delaware.
Well, next year I'm gonna bring a cursive UCLA helmet. Now that they're Big Ten.
I mean,
It's a pretty
it's
helmet,
just
man.
a gold helmet.
It's a pretty
It's
helmet.
a nice helmet.
Come on, say it, Brandon.
It's a pretty helmet.
It's
Tell
just
the
a gold-
truth.
It's just a gold
No,
helmet
come-
with the
no,
letters
no, it's not.
UCLA.
No,
It's prettier than Notre Dame.
Yeah, it looks better than Notre Dame.
UCLA
I'll
has some
give
of
you
the
that.
prettiest uniforms
Powder blue
in
and
college
gold is
football.
nice, man.
In college football.
And they do the Jordan stuff now too, like Michigan.
Yeah,
So they got
They had
Absolutely.
to. They
They
got
got
out.
some
Wait a
nice
minute. They
We're
got
Big
to a
Ten
fight
now,
with-
so I can talk UCLA back this way.
they got baby blue and
But
Okay, I said it wrong.
What?
Michigan didn't exactly steal
they didn't
Princeton's
steal it.
design.
A
Fritz
coach,
Chrysler
yeah,
came from
he
Princeton
came from Princeton
and brought that
then
same
brought
idea.
it
So
on home.
I got
borrowed
you.
the concept.
You
and
talking
made it-
Fritz Chrysler was the one that
Yes.
invented it,
Okay,
and
I
he
got you.
brought,
Brought
it
it to
here.
Michigan.
He brought it to
Correct.
Michigan.
You talk about the UCLA funny, the uniforms and all that.
Yeah,
Now I gotta admit this: my fellow crosstown rivals, the USC Trojans. You play the SC Trojans, the White Horse, Traveler coming
Right,
out
Traveler.
with the spear and
Mhm.
and then dun 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 dun.
You seem to
And
know
then-
that song
Hey,
pretty
hey,
good.
Hey, and then UCLA run out there with that little bear. Do 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 do. We was like, man, it's not even. It was like, damn, look at there. Oh, da 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 da. And we're sitting up to do you rah rah rah. And I was like, and then they got Charles White and Ronnie Lott and all them on the
Right,
sideline. Man, it just
Yeah, Snoop Dogg on the side. Not
Yeah.
you guys, but USC did.
it wasn't fair. So
I mean,
but-
wait a minute. You're in the same area,
Yeah,
basically, right?
yeah, right.
How come y'all ain't got that?
Well, it's changed. When I was at UCLA,
Yeah,
we were the dogs.
you were the dogs then.
We were my freshman class.
Okay.
Was the #1 recruited football class in the nation.
Hence, that's why
Ken
he went.
Easley, Larry Lee. We had Mike Mason from Michigan. I mean, they were all over the country. We were the #1 recruited class in the nation.
Okay.
So the 4 years, my 4 years at UCLA versus SC was loaded.
So, how many times did you beat SC?
One time. I beat my senior year, we beat SC. The other 3, they beat us. But let me tell you about SC. My sophomore year, SC, they split the national championship with Alabama.
With Alabama, I remember that.
They had, let me catch my breath, Ronnie Lott. They had, let me get it in my head. Ronnie Lott. They had Joey Browner. They had Anthony Munoz, Charles White, Marcus Allen, Mosi
He was the fullback.
Tutu, Don Mosbar, Roy Foster. I mean, they had Chip Banks. They had not Chip Banks,
back in those
not
days.
Chip other Banks, but they had the what's the Hall of Fame line the offensive lineman
Munoz.
They had Munoz, but the other one, Brad Buddy, and then they had they were loaded. SC was just loaded. And my sophomore year, 1979, we had 33 guys off that team that played in the NFL.
Wow.
If we had 33, SC had to have 50.
Wow.
SC was loaded. Calvin Sweeney.
They were loaded.
They were just loaded everywhere. Gary Cobb, Bill Gay. I mean, everywhere. Joey Browner, Jeff Fisher, Dennis Thurman.
Right.
They were loaded. But we all were boys. We hated each other the week of the game.
Right.
But other than that, we was all partying in LA everywhere.
Because I mean,
yeah.
that would be tough. Because you're living in the same city.
Yeah.
You guys have
And we
to
were boys,
exist in
though.
the same city and everything like that.
And we're still boys. Dennis
Right.
Smith, Ronnie Lott, and all of us, we still talk,
Bruce
know.
Matthews.
Huh?
Bruce Matthews.
Bruce Matthews.
Bruce Matthews.
That's
other
the guy.
one.
That's the other one.
That's the other one. Yeah. And Clay, Green Bay, Clay's father.
Yeah. Clay Matthews.
Clay Matthews
Yeah.
was on. They were loaded, man. SC was they were a pro team. Look up 79 USC Trojans.
I got it right here. That's why.
That's
I
what he's
pulled
looking
it up.
up right now.
Crazy, man.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And we did our thing. We hung tough. We were pretty loaded too. Manu Tuiasosopo, Ken Easley, Larry Lee, Louis Sharp, Brent Boyd, who played the Vikings.
So let me ask you a question. This rivalry, and it's a great rivalry. I used to watch it myself all the time. I mean, you guys liked one another off the field, on the field, and during that week, you knew it was for Bear.
Didn't talk,
But
yeah.
but see, I talked to Ohio State guys now, some Michigan State guy, well, one Michigan State guy, Lorenzo White.
Yeah.
But I mean, I still don't care for him. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
All the players you just named, you feel like
if
I felt like you know that guy.
If a guy went to Michigan State or Ohio State,
right,
there's something wrong with him. Like that's how you feel, right?
Right.
Well,
Larry, no.
Well,
it must be an East Coast thing. It must be.
I think the
Central
difference
Michigan.
might be also Columbus, Ohio, Ann Arbor, Michigan,
Right.
East Lansing, Michigan,
Uh-huh.
is nothing like Los Angeles, California.
That's fair.
What you trying to say?
I'm trying to say y'all was in these little hick towns,
Wow.
college town. We was partying with Magic and the Showtime
See,
Lakers.
I should have been with Magic, man.
We were partying with the Showtime Lakers and all that kind of stuff. L.A., brother, Hollywood. What did Bootsy say?
Exactly.
L.A.,
L.A.,
California, hey, City of Angels, Hollywood. So
he might have a point.
Okay,
he might have a point.
There was a lot more sociality in Los Angeles than State Street. Okay,
I get it. You ever notice that at Michigan, we got a State Street. Ohio State has a State Street, and Michigan State has a State Street.
Oh, I didn't realize
you ever notice that?
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, I never noticed that either. And then someone told me that. I'm like, what?
Now, I was also on the other side of the fence. I grew up in Dayton, Ohio.
Yeah.
I'm a Dayton, Ohio guy. So in one sense, I'm with you guys because I defected. I did not go to Ohio State. And back then it was a sin if Woody Hayes wanted you and you did not go play for Woody Hayes. So there was two guys. The first guy left Cleveland and went to USC. That was Gary Jeter. Remember Gary Jeter?
Right.
New York Giants, great and everything. He left Cleveland and went to USC.
You wouldn't know him, Brandon.
That was unheard of.
Right.
I was the second guy growing up in Dayton, Ohio, and not going to Ohio State, going to UCLA. And so my senior years, we did a split with Ohio State. We played Ohio State in LA the first time.
Right.
Art Schlichter drove the ball down the field on the last second drive and beat us. So my senior year, we played in the Horseshoe.
Right.
We killed them. We beat them 17-zip in the Horseshoe. And, man, it was unbelievable. I remember.
Okay, was Woody the coach?
Woody was the coach.
Did you go over and say, Coach Hayes, nice to see you
No,
again?
I did that later in my pro years. I tell you, when I was with the Lions and Darryl Rogers cut me, I ended up going to the Broncos and playing in the Super Bowl. But we beat the Lions 35-0 in Denver. And I ran a beeline to Darryl Rogers. Hey, Coach, thank you for letting me go. Yes, sir.
Good for you.
He
you.
flicked me the finger.
He gave you the finger.
God rest his soul. God rest his soul. But Darryl Rogers hated everything about UCLA. He told me when he was first hired as the Lions head coach, I was in my 5th year.
Right.
And my mom was terminally ill with cancer. It was off season. I called Darryl Rogers, said, Coach, hey, I'm Larry Lee. I'm one of your players. Congratulations being named head coach. I'm in Ohio working out and everything, but I'm down here because my mom is terminally ill, and I just need to be here at this time. He said, Larry Lee. He said, you went to UCLA, didn't you? I said, yes, sir. He said, UCLA is like a 4-letter word to me. Wow. He said, your coach Terry Donahue tried to turn me in for illegal recruiting, and UCLA just never has set well with me. I said, well, Coach, I'm in my 5th year now in the NFL. I love UCLA, but I'm 5 years as a Lion.
I'm a Lion.
He said, oh, I didn't mean anything by it. I just want them to tell you that. Man, that man cut me. Wow. Cut me in training camp. And so he cuts me, and I get a call from the Seahawks. Larry, come out and sign with us. We want you to come out with Seahawks. And he got wind of that. He calls Larry, don't sign with the Seahawks. I made a mistake. Come on back, and re-sign with us. I made a mistake. I'm sorry. I said, okay, coach. So I re-signed with the Lions. We get into the third game of the year.
Right.
I walk in on a Monday. He cuts me.
Wow.
But I got to finish the story.
Yes, please.
Monty Clark,
Yeah.
the head coach of the Lions
Yep.
that drafted me,
Mm-hmm.
who, thought I was one of his guys. I was one of his guys.
You are.
Longtime Don Shula disciple,
Mhm.
great, claimed one of the greatest offensive line coaches
Right.
ever. Monty calls me at 5 a.m. the next morning. Hey, Larry, Coach Clark here. Hey, Coach. He says, I just called Don Shula and told him all about you. They're going to claim you off waivers today. Go down there and make me proud. That's how I got to the Dolphins.
That's awesome.
Wow.
Was
That's
Monty
awesome.
Clark. And when I got there, I walked in the office and Don Shula said, I heard some great things about you. I said, okay. He said, I hope you can live up to them. I said, well, I thank you, Coach. But that's how I got to the Dolphins was Monty Clark. But Darryl Rogers hated anything to do with UCLA.
That's wild that he would take it that far.
That's
I know, but that's a true story. Like I said, I'm full of stories.
No, you great with
and
stories.
everyone I tell you is going to be the truth.
We got to go to a break real quick. We're still here at the golf outing. People are coming in now, so you won't have to listen to my crazy stories anymore. So, but we're going to listen to Larry's. I got to talk about that one. We're still here live at Travis Pointe Golf on Main. You're listening to the M Zone on the Big Ten Network. I messed that up. Who's here? I don't think. You're here now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You're what year?
Going into my sophomore year.
You're a sophomore?
Going into the fifth
Nice.
Where's home? Where's hometown?
Charlotte, North Carolina.
Okay. Charlotte, North Kakalaki.
Mm-hmm.
Your dad. I know your dad.
Yes, sir. Jonathan Goodwin.
Huh?
Jonathan Goodwin?
Yes. Jonathan Goodwin.
This is the M Zone.
And welcome back to the M Zone. Jamie Morris. We're here at the Golf on Main. I'm with Larry Lee, Big Sweet himself,
What's up, J-Mo?
and we got Channing.
What's up? How y'all,
What's
how y'all
up,
doing?
man? How
Thank
you
guys for
doing,
having
Channing
me.
Goodwin?
Yes,
What's
sir.
going on? How you doing, big fella? What's going on?
Um,
He's in his sophomore year already.
Already.
Look at
Yep.
The
Yep.
South.
Yep. Going into my
Hey,
sophomore year.
let me tell you, the best years of your life, man.
Oh yeah.
Your
yeah.
college years.
No doubt. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Good years.
Mm-hmm.
How was that freshman year?
It was good. It was
Yeah?
good. You know, it was great. You know, coming in as a freshman, being able to finally get here, see it for myself, be a part of the team. So it
Mhm.
was great. Obviously, you know, we wanted to perform a little bit better than we did
Sure.
last year, but
But that's
I had a good time overall. Beating the Buckeyes
Yep.
at the end, that was a
Mhm.
great experience. So yeah.
that's awesome.
So, how about your transition from North Carolina to Michigan? Talk about it.
He hit
Yeah.
you with the hard
Yeah.
punches now.
I get that question a lot. The hardest part was just the weather. That's
Right.
it. The
Yeah,
winter was the main thing. You know, the snow on the ground, walking to class while it's freezing cold outside.
Well, it
So that
snows.
was-
It snows in Carolina.
yeah, it does. But
Not
if
like
it snowed
that.
back at home, everything's shut down. So up here, you know, we keep it moving. Roads be plowed and all that. So it ain't no class cancel, none of that. So that was the biggest
So
adjustment.
Charlotte.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I got relatives. What's that? Concord Mall or
Yes,
something?
sir. Concord
Right over
Mills.
there?
Yep.
Yeah, Concord Mills Mall
Mhm.
over that area. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
You know, there's a lot of retired NFL players in Charlotte.
Oh, really?
All over the NFL. Charlotte has one of the strongest National Football League alumni association down there in Charlotte.
Oh yeah, nice.
Yeah, you
nice.
gotta get to know some of those guys.
Yes, sir. Yeah,
so
my
you
dad
can
probably
become
knows
one
some
of them.
Yes, sir. That's
Yeah,
the goal.
that's right.
So your dad's
That's the
there.
goal.
So I mean, come
Yeah.
on,
That's
that's
right.
true. So, but tell us about what are you looking to do this year? You said it was good last year, and you beat the Buckeyes. What's next? What's in store for this team this year?
Really, just coming into this year, we want to, just win. That's our main thing on our mind. Just go out there and win every game, and just hold ourselves to that Michigan standard for real. So, I'll say that's the biggest thing as a team. We just want to go out there, compete, win, and achieve all our goals. So, yeah.
Yeah. Again, you listen to Channing Goodwin from Charlotte, North Carolina.
Yes, sir.
I'm a North Carolina boy.
Okay.
I'm from Southern Pines, North Carolina.
Oh yeah.
So it's close to Fort Bragg.
You don't want to know where I'm from.
Not really.
Really?
But, yeah,
Dayton,
tell 'em.
Ohio.
Oh yeah. Yeah, nah, that ain't no good. But
Dayton,
But he
Ohio.
went.
I did not go to Ohio State.
Right.
I
we
went
got a
to-
lot of Ohio boys on our team too. So.
I went to
See?
Yeah.
UCLA. I went to UCLA.
Oh, out there on the West Coast. So,
yeah, I went on the West Coast. Yes, sir.
Got
So
you.
I can talk a little bit about Ohio, Michigan. Now, UCLA and SC is a part of the Big
Big
Ten.
Ten. Yep.
Yes, sir. So it's good stuff.
Oh yeah.
Back in our day, the only time you saw one of those schools was in the Rose Bowl.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
When you
Yep.
saw
Michigan,
those
Ohio
two,
State, yeah.
those two ever facing
Two conferences.
Match up against each other.
match up
Yeah.
against them, that's UCLA and
SC,
USC.
and
When I was a
Ohio
kid,
State,
I
Michigan.
remember UCLA and USC always at the Rose Bowl, and Michigan and Ohio State at the
Right.
Rose Bowl.
Mhm.
Those were two.
When
teams
I
that
left
you would see.
Ohio, the Ohio people were mad at me, and they said, "Well, why did you go to UCLA?" I said, "Because I wanted to win the Rose Bowl, not go to the Rose Bowl." So they
I
got
know
mad
that's
at
right.
me.
Yeah.
That's funny. That is funny.
Mhm.
So they got mad at me.
So, again, Channel Goodwin here. Talk to me about the offense and what the offense. You got a new offensive coordinator.
Mhm.
Are you going to get? I mean, running, throwing, or a mixture of everything?
Yeah, I say it's gonna be a mixture of everything. You know, Coach Lindsey coming from UNC. You know, he's brought his philosophy and ways up here to Ann Arbor with us, and you know, we're gonna be Michigan. You know, we're gonna be able to attack you on the ground and in the air. So I'm looking forward to seeing how we develop and go throughout the season with our new offensive coordinator.
You also have a new offensive player in a quarterback. Now, I can't talk about Mike Keeney because I haven't seen him, Mikey Keeney. I can talk about Bryce Underwood because I got a chance to see him in the spring game.
Right.
He seems to have control of the ball really well.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Yeah. You know, Bryce, he's came in, done a great job coming early enrolling for high school, and you know he's blessed with all the physical traits, and you know he just keeps on progressing each and every day in practice, going against our great defense. So, you know, he's been great so far.
Not necessarily being a Wolverine,
Mm-hmm.
but I love the fact that a former offensive lineman is the head coach. I love that fact.
Oh, well, you should.
I love that fact. You know, old linemen, they don't give us that love like that. But I'm proud of the head coach that you got. And don't know him, but I do know what's the receivers coach? Bellamy.
Ron,
That's my
Ron
guy.
Bellamy.
Yeah, Ron,
Yes, sir.
good guy. I played with his father-in-law, Dexter Bussey, with the Detroit Lions back in the day. And
Oh, okay.
he's a great guy too. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I love Coach Bell.
Yeah, he's a good man.
Coach
Yeah.
Bellamy, one of the best. He's good.
Oh yeah, no
And
doubt.
you got one of my teammates. He's the I don't know what assistant coach in wide receivers, Eric Soup Campbell.
Coach Soup, Coach Soup, Coach Soup, I love Coach Soup. Our whole staff with the receivers, I think they do a great job. They always have us well prepared, get us right in practice. So I can't say enough about them.
Good stuff.
That is good stuff.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yep. Yeah.
Well, you got to talk up Soup. Soup needs to get talked up because, like I said, I went to school with him.
Oh, yeah.
So he's a good guy.
He's
Great. How'd you hit him today? Or did you hit him?
I
Wait,
did.
You're from North Carolina.
Well, here we go.
If you can't golf in North
So
Carolina.
today was actually my first time playing a full 18. So
well, what you used to playing? What do you usually play?
all my prior experiences at Top Golf, things like that.
Okay.
So, this was definitely an adjustment.
When he answered the question, went,
yeah.
you know what's coming. You know what's coming.
Hey, no, I'm a competitive,
What had
competitive
happened?
guy.
What had happened?
When that happened. But I'm a competitive guy, so I feel like for my first time out there, me and my group, we did pretty well. I believe it was 10 under, they said. So
Okay, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's better than what we heard.
That's real good.
That's
yeah.
That's
So
good. That's pretty good.
overall, as a group, I thought we did. I thought we did
That's
fine.
cool. Did they use any of your shots?
I think so.
Was you in the
I'm
fivesome?
Nah, I don't think. I don't know about that.
How many people were in your group?
We had. I'm trying to count back in my head right now. It was about four. It was four of us.
It was just 4. Okay, I'm just asking.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
I'm just making sure you guys didn't cheat too much.
Nah, we ain't doing that. We ain't doing that.
So, would you say you used the other 3 balls when you played? They didn't use any of yours. They had to you could putt one, right?
Oh yeah. Putting was pretty easy. It was really just that mid range game. The driving, that's where it kind of got me a little bit, trying to be
irons.
accurate.
That's called your irons.
The irons, yeah.
Yeah.
See, I'm unfamiliar with it, so.
Ask him a question.
That question?
Yeah, his question. I want to say hi to somebody.
Oh,
okay.
Okay. He was doing.
Yeah, I was confused.
Yeah,
too.
I don't know. I'm ready, baby. So, Ann Arbor, Michigan. Once again, how did you adjust to the cold? How did you handle the cold? Because I know Carolina gets cold too, but on the
Yes,
other
sir.
hand, playing in the cold is a little different as well, right?
Yes, sir. No doubt.
Did you? So are you one of those? I've seen the guys that I've seen all types. Guys that wrap up from head to toe, guys that don't want to wear sleeves and try to prove how manly they are.
Right.
Which one were you?
Probably coldest game this year was Ohio State. That was probably the coldest one. But I really didn't layer up too much. I ain't have nothing on my arms, no sleeves or
Okay.
nothing. Probably just some leggings on my legs. But overall,
You'll
I think.
dress now. You know what to wear now from nowadays.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Are you a glove guy?
Yeah, yes sir, yes sir.
You do
Yeah,
the big
I'll
time?
put some gloves on. I know some guys like the latex gloves underneath to
Right.
help keep their hands warm, but
Mhm.
I ain't do that. But
That also can reduce sweat
mm-hmm.
and make your hands wet.
Yeah,
People
yeah.
don't realize that sometimes. you
Yeah,
know.
yeah. So that can be a problem too. So.
Exactly. That's it.
But it really didn't bother me too much. Like obviously with my dad playing here, he say like whenever you focus on the game, you really can't be focused on the cold. So
Right. Exactly.
that's really the main thing.
And was he right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
I just want to
no
make
doubt.
sure you
Your
you
dad taught you well,
experienced
man.
it.
Yes, sir.
He
Yes,
did
sir.
teach you
Mhm.
well. That's good.
I've always been partial to guys who, whose fathers and brothers and everything played the game too, because you're a little bit more advanced than most guys. Not because you understand the game. Like I have daughters. Now I'll put my two daughters up with any guy on stats and football thoughts and everything because they've been around the game. Around me, I did 18 years, 9 as a player and 9 as an executive in the NFL. So just being around it, there's a what's the word that they use when you're a lineage or just being around the game. When I was at the Lions, I liked drafting guys that have been around the game before or their dad or their brothers play because they're not ooh wow about everything. They've seen to have been there before and understand that. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, he caught your eye, didn't he?
Yeah.
I waved to him and made
Yeah,
him come
yeah.
up here, so I just wanted you
This
to
is like
know.
old home week, man.
Exactly. I
I've
told
seen
you.
all the fellas. What's up? What's up, baby?
Tyrone Wheatley's up here with us. We're going to talk to him in
T-Dub.
a few minutes. Chandler, we're going to stay with you. I got to ask you one question.
Okay.
What made you come to Michigan? Was it the school, the pageantry? Why did you come to Michigan?
I'd say the main thing was just the opportunity to play football and get my education. That was the big thing. Obviously with Michigan being great on the field and in the classroom, it was something I really couldn't deny. And events like these, with our strong alumni, it's really a brotherhood. And whether you played 20 years ago or today, you always feel connected to, those Michigan brothers. So that was the main thing. And it was something I really couldn't turn down.
That's
sentiment. That's a great answer.
And not being a Wolverine, I see that, among all the Wolverine guys. And it is a great fraternity of guys and good school. Great school. Great
No
school.
doubt. Yes, sir.
I just didn't go there.
It's all good. It's all good.
And wait a minute. He's a Wolverine in his heart.
Yeah. So he good with us. Yeah,
I'll tell you,
good with us.
I'm going to give y'all, this is hard to say. I know the Michigan fight song, but don't know UCLA's fight song. Hail to the victors, God, hail to the conquering heroes, hail to Michigan leaders. How do I know that, man? Why do I know that, Jamie?
I don't know why you know that. I'm kind of confused myself.
All I know is the music.
You don't know. Wait, you don't know the UCLA fight song?
Dun, 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 dun. I don't know the words. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Fight you, rah, rah, rah. See, rah, rah, yeah, rah, rah. Hey, UCLA, fight.
He don't know the words.
He don't. Yeah.
He don't know the
I
words.
know the Michigan words, though.
Serious.
Why is that? That's because y'all play it all dang day 90 times during a half-hour quarter.
Well, it used to be when the band would play the victors.
Okay.
All the time, you would there was a donation that would be made.
Oh, that's the way it used to be.
I'm just telling you.
That was before NIL. So y'all was cheating.
Nobody was cheating. No, nobody was. That was a donation from someone.
Donation.
No.
Now you sound like Coming to America. Donation. Donation.
All I'm saying to you is that You should know your fight song. I don't know why you don't know your.
I
fight
know the
song.
fight song.
No, you don't. You don't even know the name of it.
I just sang it to you.
No, you sang it. You sang words.
You
No words at all.
UCLA, fight.
Tanny, what would happen to you if you didn't know the fight song?
I don't want to find out.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
I'm
just letting
I
you
do know the last line is something about, and if you happen to see a man from USC, then you fight for victory. That's good
You
enough.
put another team in your fight song.
Yeah, that is odd.
That
is
who
odd.
puts it?
But you know, the story is the original Cal Berkeley Bears.
Yeah.
Are the original UC, and then UCLA came later. So UCLA and Cal Berkeley has the same fight song, the music, because Cal Berkeley was the original UC school, and then UCLA came later,
right?
And they share the same music to the fight song.
Okay,
that's kind of weird, but
it is weird.
Yeah, it is.
Again, you know
See,
what?
don't y'all love this West Coast flavor back here in the Big Ten?
No,
don't y'all love this West Coast
I think
thought
we just
mindset? See, y'all would have never known that concept. We're going to expand our horizons during this show.
Miz, we're going to expand our horizon on this show.
On this show.
With Big Sweet. Thank you. Thank you. Channing,
we're going to expand our horizons.
That's all good.
I'm finding out new things. It's his first show, too. Today.
It's my first show today.
Okay. It's his first show. So he's having a good time.
I'm having a good time, man. Yep.
He sees the Michigan.
I see a lot of my buddies, man. I saw Jeff Backus. I just saw Tyrone Wheatley.
He's right back there.
Is BG here? That's
not yet. He will be.
Some of my Michigan
making you feel good.
Mojos.
Pretty soon we're gonna have Big Sweet singing the fight song. I'll have it.
God.
Yeah, we're gonna get it done.
God.
He'll get it done.
So does UCLA play us Michigan this year?
I don't know about this year.
No, not this year.
I know we got USC out there in Cali, but I think
Michigan,
probably
Cali came. SC came here this past.
Right.
Yes, sir. And
did y'all beat them?
Yes, sir. We sure did.
You sure?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
I'm
just
wow.
Positive.
Okay. All right.
Channing, we're gonna let you get away from here now, from us. We're crazy
No,
anyway.
I love the young man. I love. Good luck to you, man. And
good luck.
God
We'll
bless
keep an
you.
eye on you.
Yes, sir. You
We'll
got
call your
you
name.
got some unks.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, thank you.
We're gonna go to a break, and when we come back, we got the most explosive running back in the history of the University of Michigan. No, it ain't me. Yeah, I'm not talking about myself. I'm just letting you know. We got another one. You're listening to the M Zone on the Big 1050. Brandon, what's in that water? What's in there?
Appreciate you guys. Good stuff, man. All right.
This is the M Zone.
Hey,
Larry Lee.
what's up? What's up?
And
dude?
we got a special guest. But before we say that, folks, you had a chance to sign up for the annual subscription plans for Honorable Pest Control. Their comprehensive programs protect your homes inside and out, from foundation to the peak, 4 times a year. Plus, they cover any unsuspected pest issues between treatments. It's like having pest insurance at home. Call Honorable Pest Control today at 734-436-3017. I said 734-436-0317. Or just go to honorablepestcontrol.com. That's the way you get them quickly. Now, joining us is, I preface it by one of the greatest running backs in the history of Michigan, and I ain't joking. This is Tyrone Wheatley.
Well, I appreciate that, but and I'm sitting with the man, Jamie Morris.
And I'm in the middle of you two greats, Michigan greats. So before you came on, we decided he's the OG,
Okay.
and I'm the OGG.
OGG.
The OOG.
And he
Yeah,
Exactly.
I think I am approaching that a little bit. I'm about to be 41. I don't know. That's about that territory.
41.
Yeah.
41. Wow.
I told Jamie earlier. I said, Jamie, I think I'm about to do the show today with my favorite running back from Michigan, and it's not you, man.
That's okay. I'm good with that.
41. What Richard Pryor said? Breath smell like carnation milk.
Exactly.
I think I'm past that. I don't feel like that.
Yes, sir. This is awesome, man. And all you guys, I remember both of your careers, and Tyrone and I got to know each other around the Detroit area, and when I was with the Lions, and good stuff, man. And then he did the NFL years, and that's great stuff, man. It's just a brotherhood that we have among athletes that I love, absolutely love, and we don't forget, and we cross all barriers. I'm Ohio boy, UCLA guy, but here we are up here at Michigan, and I'm talking Ohio with Michigan guys. How about that?
How about that?
How about that? Good stuff.
But football, not only just football, but the sport world, it makes it smaller. Like you said, we cross the paths, but at the end of the time, as we end our days on the field, we get a chance to sit here in the broadcast booth, sit at the tables, and be on the radio waves, and get a chance to share our stories, man. But it's always great, because just like in football, I had to have someone to look and bridge that path and hear about the great Jamie Morris and what did he do and how did he run. And so now all of a sudden that vision was put out there for me to follow. And then at the same time, you guys come out, and the same thing with Jamie. I still call him to this day a hell of a mentor for me. And like you talk about, just not only just the guys who donned the wing helmet, but because you wore a helmet, I reached out to you, and you was a mentor there for me. So that's the great thing about this game, man. When you say a brotherhood, it truly is a brotherhood for life.
I agree. And so speaking now, what you're doing now, and we just caught up, and I told him, man, I'd be more than happy to come out to Wayne State and just hang out and spend some time, and however you need me, man, you got me there. So tell me about being at Wayne State, man.
I'm going to my third year. Took over a program, like you talked about, Mr. Winters. He was there. He did a great job. Kind of tail end of his career. I had to make a transition, and then I've had the privilege of just taking over the program and just taking it into the new era. When we talk about this new era, the new era of football, the transfer portal, the world of the NIL, which isn't hitting the Division II level yet, but it's there. But it's just the transition of football and where it's headed and where it's going. And I don't like to use the word, but people use the word poaching of Division II players because nowadays Division I, FCS or FBS, they don't have to recruit a high school player ever again.
That's true.
They don't have to recruit a high school player ever again. All they have to do is come down to Division II, Division III, or even some FCS programs, and choose the guys that they feel can replace in production and age. And they don't have to really develop anymore because that player has already developed those skills and traits, and he's produced. And they can just take those guys and take them up. However, like anything else, man, my grandma used to say, be a dinosaur. And I said, what you mean by that? got to adapt, got to adjust, or it should be extinct. So, and that's where I'm at right now. Just like I say, just trying to take Wayne State into that next era, build the culture, and get the guys going.
What's my man running back that retired from the Lions? Does he come back around?
Joik Bell.
Yeah.
Joik is phenomenal, man. He's his son actually plays on the team as wide receiver. So shout out to Jordan Bell and Joik Bell. Joik is there all the time. He's a very, very inspirational guy for the guys to look at, because everybody aspires, to be an NFL or running back, offensive line. They want to play in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the big things that I pride myself, and not only myself, but our athletic director Erica Wallace and the Wayne State Athletic Department, is they do a great job of placing young men in jobs after graduation.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we have guys that long story short, one of my offensive linemen, came in. He was a little upset, a little shaken, and I was like, "What are you upset about?" He's like, "There's a pretty good chance I may not play my senior season." I was like, "Why not?" He said, "Well, I got into this program. It was I think it was a pharmaceutical something, but it's a strenuous program,
Mm-hmm.
and the calendars and schedules wasn't going to match up." And I said, "Man, listen, this is why you came to school.
Right.
You came to get an education.
Mm-hmm.
You thought you came to play football, but you came to get an education.
Mm-hmm.
And you mean to tell me you're going to graduate and go right into a job making six figures?"
Right.
I kicked him out the door.
yeah.
I pushed him out the door. So I said, "I'll make the decision for you. Leave." And for me, that's the greatest part of the job, is seeing guys. I'll tell you another quick story. I had a defensive back and a defensive lineman, and they both work in the supply chain industry. And so their bosses, the bosses of the company, didn't know they were teammates, didn't know they played football.
Mm-hmm.
And he called me and was like, "Coach, guess what? They're paying me to take my roommate out to dinner." What? The company, right? He was like, "I'm taking my roommate out to dinner. We're going to talk business." And so, just hearing those stories and just seeing these guys thrive, man, just seeing them thrive, and the things that they learn from football and the things that they're taking, in acquisition and into the next level. It's so incredible to see and watch them grow. I mean, you sometimes feel like a pops, man.
Right.
Seeing your kids take the next level and take that next step. So it's truly incredible.
What's it like running a program where you're from? I mean, you got the Inkster hat on, Wayne State right in the heart of Detroit. I'm sure you do a lot of recruiting locally. I'm sure it expands a little bit, but a lot of homegrown kids. What's that like?
Hard as hell. Well, because everyone feels they have a kid for you.
Mm.
Everyone feels that you got to recruit Detroit. You got to recruit this. Everybody has a guy. Everybody has a guy. And I kind of take some things. I pluck from all aspects and where I've been, from my high school head coaches, from Michigan, from John Gruden, from Dan Reeves. So I take things from everywhere I've been. But the one thing that they all have in common, got to be the right guy. Has to be the right guy for the program. You can't just take any guy, right? Like you talked about Bo. You're just not bringing anybody in the Bo's program, right? It has to be the right guy. With Dan Reeves, he was playing under the legendary Tom Landry.
Right.
Old school, hard nose, hard knocks. You just wouldn't know anybody just going to play under, Dan Reeves, and kind of the same thing. So I want guys that's cut from a different cloth. So it's hard recruiting your backyard, right? Because yes, there are going to be some good players. There are going to be some incredible athletes, but they may not have the temperament and the attitude and the aptitude for your team and who you are and what you want, and to build your culture, right? So, a guy might go down the street, he might play and he might do well. And I just remember Moeller saying this to a couple of guys: "Hey, good for him, but he's not Michigan."
Yeah.
Right. And good for him, he's not Wayne State.
Man, when you mentioned Dan Reeves, man, you hit a soft spot in my heart, man. I played with the Broncos under Dan. What a great man.
Oh yeah.
And you were exactly right. I was traded there from Denver, and when I got there, Dan pulled me to the side and he said, "Look, there's a special kind of guy that plays for me." But the fact that he was a former player, Dan was always honest and fair and cool. I rank Dan Reeves as one of my all-time greatest coaches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like you say, people think of it as tough. It's just a standard, right?
Yeah.
Mike Thomas says it all the time. The standard is the standard. And that was Dan Reeves' standard.
That was Dan Reeves' standard. Exactly.
He was a tough guy, physical, hard-nosed,
fair.
And fair.
But fair. He's not gonna send you through anything that was not on purpose, and treated you fairly like a man.
Yep.
One thing I remember when I got to Denver, every other team I played for, you got to stay in the hotel the night before the game. Dan Reeves didn't like
Nope.
you stay at home.
Stayed at home.
The night before the game. I was
Yes.
shocked.
Yeah, he stayed at home.
Really?
Yeah. We didn't stay in the hotel the night
Joe
before.
Gibbs didn't get that page.
No coach I ever played for got
Right,
that page.
exactly.
But Dan Reeves.
Dan Reeves, yeah.
We stayed at home the night before the game. You didn't check in the hotel or nothing.
That's crazy.
Yeah, Dan Reeves said you sleep better at home than you in some hotel once a week and everything. I'd rather you be at home next to your wife and,
Right.
and like treat like normal. Dan was cool like that.
Yep.
He was cool. I'll never forget that.
You talked about the the NIL, and being where you are. Do you see a lot of transfers in Division II? Do you have kids moving around and going to other places?
Yeah. So, sometimes a lot of the transfer, especially in the GLIAC, it's from team to team within the GLIAC. But you do have a lot of guys that's transferring up from NAIA to Division III to Division II.
Yeah.
But then you also have guys that's coming down from the FCS, FBS level that's coming down. They're coming down.
Okay.
And, and they kind of want some of the same creature comforts that they had up there.
Right.
I'm like, no, brother, you had you had your shot.
You was in the league.
You should have got it while you was there.
Right.
You're not going to get that now. But yeah, like I say, it's so much movement now. It's so much movement, and it's kind of one of those deals where back in the day you could sit there, you can, right now you can go and say, okay, let's kind of look at the first 3 games and let's kind of do a mock, let's do a mock game plan and look at, okay, so if the coordinator's back, but the coordinator may be back,
right?
But hell, he done lost 4 defensive linemen, so you don't know who's coming in. You don't know. You can't put together a personnel sheet until almost a week, maybe 2 weeks before the game.
Right. Does this bother? I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Big
No,
Sweet.
no.
Does this hurt high school recruiting?
So here's the crazy part about it. I was just talking about this. Going back to my grandmother's dinosaur deal, it doesn't. Like in anything else, if you think about the housing market, right? Right now, it's really a buyer's market.
Right.
So you have to adjust. You gotta adjust. And what these high school cats are not doing, they're not adjusting. They're still moving like it's a seller's market.
Right.
They're still moving like they are in the demand. You're not. You're not in demand. And so they're not doing things to make themselves a curb appeal. They're not doing things to push themselves out there. And I tell guys all the time, if I'm competing, so just even 4 years ago,
right,
I'm competing with a high school senior.
Yep.
Now I'm competing with a grad transfer.
Right.
So in order, as a high school athlete, if I'm going to compete with a college guy, damn it, I better look like a college guy.
Yeah.
I better be in that weight room, right? And then when I come to a visit and they put me on the board, I better know what I'm talking about when I'm on that board.
Right.
And so it's not truly, I wouldn't say it's hurting high school athletes. It's not hurting high school football. It's just these guys are not adjusting. And they're chasing the D1 or die dreams instead of saying, okay, if the market says I'm D2, damn it, I'm D2.
Right.
And if the market says I'm D3, I'm D3, so on and so forth. But what happens is these high school coaches and these trainers get out here and they start telling these kids, well, he's a D1 athlete. I said, how many people are recruiting him? Who's recruiting? Well, mostly D2 schools. Well, he's a D2 athlete.
Right.
Look like a duck, quack like a duck.
Then it's a duck.
It's a duck.
Right. But that's what's happening. Yeah. And so it's not the recruiting, it's not the colleges, it's not what's hurt. That's what hurting these kids. It's the parents, it's these trainers and some of these high schools coaches that's hurting these kids. And I hate Twitter for the standpoint of you look at a young man and a coach or a trainer or someone will say he's being slept on. How can you sleep on this kid? And I'm like, well, I see he has 16 offers. How is he slept on?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I got you.
So to me, it's really it's not so much as the cause, but it's the effect. So the ripple effect is people have not caught up to the trend in what's going on right now. And like I say, it's not hurting them. And so you get some guys who get it and say they get that offer, they're not messing around. They're committing.
Exactly.
Isn't that kind of like the quarterback story from the guy from Tennessee whose dad got involved and
Oh,
thought he
yeah.
should have got, and then he ended up going to UCLA or something on those
Oh, yeah.
lines because the dad got involved and thought he should have got more money. And
No, he wanted more money because he
wanted to
found out the kid down in Miami
Yes.
who went from Georgia was making more
Was
money
making-
than
but
him.
but the pops also, but that was the pops though. The
That was
pops
the
also
pop.
said, hey,
Yeah.
it's almost like the running back market, right?
Mhm.
Saquon set the
Right,
market.
yeah.
But this ain't the NFL.
Right.
No one's setting the market in
No,
college.
exactly.
Play, man. And so I tell people this, and they say, well, you sound, like a mad guy who missed out on the mark. No, I'm not mad, but there's still a process.
Right.
You still have to go through the process. Don't get me wrong. I want all of these young guys to get what's due to them.
Mm-hmm.
I love, before me, you guys had to struggle for any and everything
Right.
you guys
Yeah.
got.
I say this now, all three of us had pretty nice college careers. I want reparations. I was a 4-year starter.
So wait a minute. So wait. Speaking about the reparations,
Yeah.
how about this though? We missed. They made the cutoff at 2016.
Right.
You guys go
Right.
back.
Yeah.
So that's for one. I think that's
Yeah,
really pretty
right.
bogus.
Right.
But however, we all had to scrounge and scramble just to get what we had, and to make ends meet. And people say, well, you were at Michigan. You wasn't starving. It wasn't the fact that I was starving, but we wasn't getting what you guys thought we were
Right.
getting.
Exactly.
Right? Not like they're doing right
They
now.
thought the sidewalks were gold here.
Yeah.
Well, I got a personal story. I'm dating this girl at UCLA. Okay, we were kicking it pretty hard.
I was gonna say.
I asked her to marry me. She says no, because I didn't have a ring. I said, look, I'm just a poor college student, and I don't have a ring. It's the thought that matters. She's my wife now, but back then I asked her.
I got it later on.
Yeah, you don't have a ring. I was like, I'm a college. I don't have an NIL deal back then.
You understand her plight, though. You
Uh-huh.
gonna ask me to marry me, and you ain't even got no ring.
She said, "Get a Bazooka
I'm
Joe
about
ring
to
or
say, man,
something."
Cracker Jacks,
I
man.
mean,
I
Cracker
know.
Jack ring.
Oh, y'all siding with her?
Look at her.
Y'all siding with her?
Hey, man, my wife might be listening.
Exactly. And so I tease now, and so then we both married and divorced others.
Yeah.
And she said, I thought you were gonna come back. I said, you know what Eminem said. You better lose. You only get one shot to not get your chance to blow. No, so
Opportunity knocks once in a lifetime. Yeah.
so all good though.
But so like I say, I don't think it's ruining. Like anything else, like every market, like anything, it will stabilize, it will adjust. It just, people have to understand that some of these parents just have to understand that, yeah, I understand you want to advocate for your kid. I understand you want your kid to get the most and the best. But if you do not understand, and like they say, this game it's not checkers, this is chess.
Right.
Yeah.
And you make the wrong move, it could destroy your kid.
Yeah.
It could destroy him.
You've been coaching since 2008, various levels, a couple NFL stints, Power 5, now at Wayne State. And we've seen some of the biggest names in coaching in football, basketball hang it up because of this NIL stuff. And they just – what's your thought been on it? Because you started before there was NIL. You worked through it, and now it's here like it's never been before. Like, was it ever a deterrent? Did you like having to adjust to it? Like, what's that been like?
So, but once again, I think it all depends on the person and who you are, right? Who you are. Like, I'm a very straightforward guy, and I shoot all my guys, everybody that I coached, everybody I've been around, always shot them straight, always told them the truth, right? And so, if I was ever get to the point where I was a head coach and I had to deal with the NIL, first and foremost, I'm not dealing with it. The GMs, that's crazy now that we have.
GM.
Yeah, you got a GM
right?
now.
Right? You got GMs in college, right? So my GM will deal with that, but here will be the portion in the process in terms of dealing with that. Play, produce, and I will tier it. If you don't like it, here's your merry way. Right?
Yeah.
And that's it. Like anything else in the NFL, you play your contract out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, if you want to get nasty and all this stuff, then I can hit you with a franchise tag. It give you the average instead of the top. I'll give you the average. So there are ways you can do it, but however, you have to be conscious and mindful of the team. I know you want your bag, man. I know everybody wants the bag. But you can't go in this and just disrupt and just destroy the entire team just so you can get yours.
Right.
Now, eventually, can't you see on the D1 level them capping various monies at certain positions? Because it's a wild west right now.
I think they're
right?
going that route. With the revenue sharing, I think they're going to be able to go that route because now with the revenue sharing, and I was a multi-sport athlete in college, and I'm not going to lie to you. I felt the plight of the track runners in the cross country and the non-revenue sports.
Yeah.
But my argument to them was, you don't put butts in the seat.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, dollars in the.
But even though we may not put butts on the seat, Kevin Sullivan, one of the most decorated athletes in University of Michigan history.
Yeah.
Okay. In history of the University of Michigan, dons the maize and blue, reps it, and puts us on the map. Although he may not, but he's in the Olympics. Do you understand what I'm saying? He may not be bringing quote unquote dollars, but he's bringing all type of notoriety to the university. So there's a monetary value onto that as well. So I understand that as well. So you have to start paying those young men and those young ladies as well, right? And then you also start getting into Title IX.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so it's going to snowball. So I think at some point it's going to have to be a cap. There's going to have to be a little more conscious thought and effort going into how you paying these young men and women and how it's going to go through.
Man, you brought up track and field. One thing, Jamie, my days at UCLA, UCLA was loaded.
Oh, yeah.
We had Jackie Joyner-Kersee, Lojo, Greg Foster, world champion shot putter Dave Lout, world champion pole vaulter Mike Tully. We were all in school together. The 84 and 88 Olympic teams was all my UCLA buddies. And UCLA was strong in track back then. And then you're right. They deserved everything that the football players got because they put us on the map. The football team was good, but they were great.
They were great.
The track team was great. Greg Foster, God rest his soul, Andre Phillips, Evelyn Ashford.
Oh, wow.
Remember Evelyn, Flo
Evelyn,
Joe. We all were schoolmates, man. Jackie Joyner-Kersee. We all were schoolmates. And we had some great times, man. We hung out.
Goats right there, bro.
Oh, some goats, man. Willie Banks, triple jumper.
Banks, yes.
Willie was. We all went to school together, man. We hung out and went roller skating together and the whole nine. But they were all world record holders in track.
And then I think after that, had Otto Bowman who came through there.
Yeah.
Who's the big offensive lineman that played with the
Jonathan Ogden?
Jonathan Ogden.
But what else was funny, man? We used to have dual track meets. The UCLA Tennessee dual track meet. Woo! You talk about 10,000 people at a track meet. Oh, it was crazy. There was 2 track meets that were unbelievable. UCLA Tennessee, UCLA SC.
Oh yeah.
The crosstown track meet, dual track meets. Oh my God. They were like the Showtime Lakers. It was crazy.
It was, man.
It was crazy. SC had the triple jumper. I can't think of his name. He was phenomenal, man. He was world record holder, and he and Willie Banks would just break the world record every time they went against each other. And like I said, Flojo, Evelyn Ashford, Jackie Joyner-Kersee, all of us, just went to school together and partied.
And like I said, and being on that side, how can you deny them their chance and opportunity?
Well, you can't.
For huge NIL.
Tennessee had Willie Galt. They had what's my man that was my teammate in with the Broncos, wide receiver, Sam Grady. They were low. Tennessee was loaded too, man. It was some good track meets, man. I'm flashing back to them now. Yeah. Great stuff.
Then what you do with NIL? I mean, if you had all of those people, they deserve money too.
That's why it's hard to think about a cap on NIL. The revenue sharing is one thing. Like they can cap that and regulate that a little bit, but it's not really fair for anybody to say that person's only worth X amount. Like they're worth what they're worth. Like they go out, they can go out and get it. It's tough.
You can pay out what you bring in, right? And I wondered, I questioned UCLA because a school like UCLA in the middle of Beverly Hills, Brentwood, all kind of Hollywood celebrities and all that kind of stuff, why they aren't doing better when it comes to NIL. Seems like if that's the alumni, Hollywood alumni from UCLA, because I was there with the Wayans brothers, Keaton and Ivan Wayans was one of my classmates, and all those kind of celebrities. Carol Burnett is a UCLA grad, and so many others. Why?
All right,
Just got to get them to care.
well, let's talk about here first.
Yeah.
Let's talk about here
Let's
first.
talk about this.
Okay.
And I think what has to happen is the brand, the trademark, and also expectation. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Jamie.
Mm-hmm.
At one point in time, there were people, and I call it of the cloth, right, of the U of M cloth, who didn't feel like they should pay high school athletes and be given this. They didn't think that, right? They didn't think that. And then all of a sudden, because Michigan has the cachet of the football program, of the basketball program, and it's part of our fabric. That's what I say of the cloth. It's part of our fabric. In the state of Michigan, you either green and white or maize and blue, right? So it's part of our fabric. People raise their kids off of what Bo did in Perlis, right? So all of a sudden now things kind of changed. So now that money is coming, it's flowing, it's going.
You good?
UCLA, I don't, like I say, now that's your neck of the woods, but I don't think that fabric and the way that football program is built like that. And so that money that they have, they don't see making a collective and paying their athletes and making UCLA, because to them it's not, it doesn't matter.
And at UCLA, it's different now than when I was there. The football program was very solid, one of the top programs. But now other sports at UCLA dominate.
Yes.
The gymnastics teams, the baseball teams was in the World Series, and and then for a while there, the basketball teams. Right before I got there, all the 10 championships and all that stuff, and Wooten and all that stuff. So there were other sports like now. I'd be interested to see how UCLA and are all sports a part of the Big Ten too, or is it just football?
All sports.
So
all
gymnastics and tennis and all that's
Everything.
going. Okay, that's going to be interesting to see.
The Big Ten track and field just went off. So UCLA, USC, of course, the teams out west kind of ran through that thing. They're always going to hold their dominance in that area arena. But I think our gymnastics and wrestling is kind of strong, so that's all we kind of came up.
All right.
Yeah,
we need to go to a break, and we really appreciate you coming on. We appreciate that a lot. We got to go to a break. You're listening to the M Zone on the Big 1050.
This is the M Zone.
Course. And my boy Big Sweet right next to me, Larry Lee over here on the side. We have another Wolverine. Sean Crable's up in here, outside linebacker, the Destroyer. I used to call him the Destroyer.
Thank you.
That being said, Sean, you're doing some things also.
Yes.
Talk about it.
So I'm the vice president of marketing and development for ComQuest. It's a mental health and alcohol substance abuse situation there. But I came out today to golf, hit a couple whack-a-mole a little bit for my golf game. But I got to be with these guys here that throw the Mud Bowl and the Winterfest, and I got to play with these guys today. And I just wanted to come on and talk a little bit about what they do, how they do it. They raised $58,000 for the event tonight, and I wanted to make sure that they had a moment to kind of share their piece and do what they do. So,
all right, you guys want to tell me your name?
I'm Caden Playford. This is Benji McCall here.
Nice to meet you.
We're two guys who play in the Mud Bowl. It's a great event. We've been doing this this is the 91st year.
There we go.
There we go.
Back in my day, the Mud Bowl was thrown on homecoming.
Yep.
And I guess was it sororities or fraternities?
Both.
SA
always plays in the Mud Bowl, but this is the 91st year. We've had sororities hit or miss.
Okay.
We're hoping to bring that back next year.
Okay.
But yeah, it's been a great event. We've raised a lot of money. This year was $58,000, as Sean mentioned. It's been great.
How are you doing it then? How are you raising that much money?
Right,
and it went away for it went away for a while.
Purdue game this year. Purdue game this year.
Yes,
right?
November 1st this year. Everyone pull up. But yes, we've raised a lot of money, and that's come from just commitment from our fraternity and a lot of other fraternities in Greek life. We've all joined together to make this possible. Yeah, we've had a lot of people come in, and yeah, like we've had sororities start to get more interested, and that's going to start hopefully soon. But yeah,
I didn't know the mud was a knee deep.
Right,
it's knee deep.
It's knee deep. Wait a minute,
3 truckloads worth of water to get this thing to where it is. 3 truckloads worth of water.
and then they're out there and they're getting after it with the wrestling team. They're getting after it and doing it that way. And so it's been an exciting experience to talk with them, to work with these guys, to see that they're calls toward Mott's Children's Hospital for the kids and do it that way. I mean, to have an opportunity to golf with them today,
right?
And see the outcome. The outcome versus the work that they put in over this time is just outstanding. A fraternity here at the university can raise those type of funds and be able to help the hospital that we deal with. I mean, I give these guys all of the kudos in the world when it comes down to that.
Yeah, there's nothing like it. Honestly, when you're in the Mud Bowl, it's the most intense feeling. And we got to visit the hospital this year and see the impact we're actually having. And that's the biggest thing for us, is seeing the impact and to see the kids and to see the research that's being funded by this event. It means a lot to us, and we love it. We can't wait for next year. We're hoping to make it bigger and bigger every year. It's a great thing. And yeah, like we can't say more about it. It's just a great event, and it keeps getting bigger.
Well, I wish you nothing but luck for the next one, which is in Purdue, right?
Yes, Purdue.
So the next
5 hours before the game. 5 hours to the game. They're out there.
It's going to be early.
Yeah,
Man. That's
I talked
to
most of the players. I talked to most of the players. I'm like, they throw the Mud Bowl. They're like, we would love to come. I'm like, you'll never get a chance to come because it's game day.
It's got to be
on game day. Yeah, it's usually on game day.
It's got to be when they're retired. It's like always on a game day 5 hours before. We're going to be early this year because it's a noon game.
So is it still in the same area, the Mud Bowl?
It's
where
always
the
at
old Mud Bowl was?
It's always at 1408 Washtenaw, right in the yard. We got right on Washtenaw and Southview. We got the Mud Bowl there. It's always a great event. There's always a great crowd. Can't say enough about it. It's fun
and it's physical.
It's physical.
You got no path.
Somebody go get
hurt. No path. Yeah, somebody go get this.
You signed the waivers, right?
There are waivers. Signed. There are waivers.
Okay,
signed.
I'm just making sure. I'm trying to protect you.
Yeah, they asked me to play. I said, hey. The way my insurance said, we can use you as a linebacker. I said, the way my insurance set up, baby, I can't do I can't.
No, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. We would love Sean or Woodson in the Mud Bowl, but that's not going to
You guys
happen.
lost for the first time this year,
This
right?
was our first time losing since rechartering. And
that's 90-something years of wins.
It's stung.
Wait a minute. Y'all been winning for 90 years.
No. Since we've been back.
Since you've been back, 2015. Okay. I just want to make sure. I was about to say, you broke tradition.
Right.
Yeah, we did. I'm a junior.
They said they brought the wrestlers out. They brought everybody out to beat them.
Yeah, we were playing against wrestlers, Michigan wrestlers. I'm a senior, upcoming senior. I'm 2-1. I'm the team captain here, and
there you go, Cap.
I'm Cap. Yep. But we want to bring it back next year, and it's a great event. And end of the day, win or lose, it's for this right here. We love raising money for the kids. That's
awesome.
what it's about. That's what it's about.
That is awesome, and that you guys you have a big heart for doing this.
Yes,
absolutely.
absolutely.
And thank you for bringing the Mud Bowl back to modern age.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And they do a winter deal too.
What?
Yeah. They play hockey. They do a winter deal.
Yeah.
They rough it up out there. They do a winter deal with the hockey and everything.
Yeah, so we have Winterfest too. That's in the winter term. That's hosted by Sigma Nu, and that event is a full Greek life event. There's boys and girls playing right now. It's this broom ball tournament. There's a lot of fighting, a lot of roughhousing.
A lot of fighting.
But
I golfed with them for 18 holes.
Oh, my
they told
God.
Me, I said, damn, boy, y'all out here doing it. So
it's physical. It's physical. Yeah. But, yeah, we get after it, and that's also a great event for raising money. Can't say enough about that event as well. It's a great thing. We love raising money. All of Greek life, every chapter, that's what it's about. It's just raising money for people that aren't as well benefited.
Well, that's awesome that you guys do that. That's a different take on Greek life, isn't it? That's not what you imagine what Greek life is like. You guys are giving back, and that's awesome. And we really appreciate that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Now the fighting and stuff, we
The fighting-
I don't know
we can
about
figure
that.
The
out.
fighting-
We
the
can
fighting's
figure
always
it
gonna
out.
be there. The
Don't
fighting's
be
always gonna be
challenging
there.
all the time.
Yeah.
You ain't got to say you undefeated all the time.
We are definitely not undefeated. We're 2-1 in the Mud Bowl. We'd love to make a bit deeper run in the Winterfest tournament, but it's fun. At the end of the day, it's really fun. It's for a great cause, and
Yes, sir.
we're doing what we can.
We finished 2 under today. I don't know how close that was.
We had an eagle. We had an eagle.
We had an eagle. Yeah,
You got an eagle.
Oh yeah.
That's
Now
a
we
good
got
thing.
some
You got
drivers.
an eagle. That's a good
Yes.
thing.
Yes,
I
sir.
That's a good
heard
drive.
lowest I've heard so far is 10 under.
That's
Yeah,
not
no.
us.
What?
20 under.
You know they lie.
Yeah, no. They have mulligans and all kinds of things.
They paid that. They paid for that.
That's pay to win.
They
That's
ain't
pay
do
to
that
win.
straight up. They ain't do that straight up, But we were 2 under out there, man. We had a really good time.
We love our guy here, Sean
yeah,
Crable.
this is
He's
my
been with
second
us.
year
This is
with
our
the group.
second year in a row with
That's
Sean.
awesome.
Yeah,
He's a great guy.
Yeah. And they now when I tell you I'm having a good time with these guys, I'm having a very good time with these guys.
Good.
They bring the noise, they bring the good country music.
Yes,
We're
sir.
hanging out. We're doing it, and I couldn't be with a better group. More, and then when you look at what they're doing on the other side,
Right. Exactly.
that's the part that really strikes a chord with
Well,
me.
you got young people giving
Well,
back.
18 to 21.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
And they're raising these type of dollars.
Yes.
To be able to help, with infant mortality and the things that's going on at Mott's Children's Hospital, to be able to do, better surgeries and things of that nature that go along with it. I wish I was more well balanced. I look at these guys and I say, okay, well now, what was I doing when I was here?
Right.
Right. And I wish I was a little more well balanced. And what I did when I was here. But I gotta take my hat off to these guys, man. And as they tell me the numbers, and this is the second year in a row. So if you look at 2 years in a row, they're about $116,000
Wow.
into what we're doing.
Congratulations.
To the hospital. And so
And our goal only gets bigger. I mean, last year we raised $60K. We're looking for $100K this year. We've been talking to Gene at Mott for a while. Our alumni president too is involved, and we're looking to raise that number big time. It's all for the kids. Like, we would love to just increase what we're doing here, whether that's a spring event, whether that's just more marketing, whatever it is. We want to make this bigger. We want to keep
get
getting
involved.
better.
Let me know, okay?
Absolutely.
We'll
We'd love
type
to
it
have
out.
you guys
We'll
there.
get out
We'd love to
there.
have you guys there.
I ain't getting
get out there, get that mud, dude.
I ain't
Yeah,
getting
get in the mud. Get in the mud.
I ain't getting that mud.
Get in the mud.
That might put another 4,000-5,000 on top.
Sean here's in the mud next
If
year.
they count some yards on that, I'll take it. 'Cause I
put my
can get my yards back.
Yeah, for sure. Put my yards where they go.
Exactly.
But yeah, these guys to be young, to be exuberant like they are, and then to be, to have a head about themselves. I think that's something that should be marketed, that should be spoken
Without.
about. Because as a university,
Right.
we're talking about as a university, we're talking about everyone dialing in to what's going on, and these guys are the epitome of what that looks like.
They are.
They're really dialing in as a university, as a fraternity here, saying we have a cause,
Right.
And that cause is something that I'm willing to get behind. I'm willing to put my name behind to say, meet these guys out there. Purdue game. What time does it start? The Purdue game.
So we got a noon kickoff for
Noon
Michigan
kickoff,
football this
baby.
year. So it's going to be an
time
early
does
game.
the
I think it's a 9 a.m. kickoff this
Hey,
year. It's gonna be an early
they
one.
ran. Last year they ran the kickoff back. I'm just gonna tell you, in the Mud Bowl,
This guy
my
right
guy
here.
right here ran the
My boy
kickoff back.
Benji.
Now they kicking the ball off. They doing it the way they do
Opening kickoff.
Yeah,
It was straight to this
Now,
guy
we
here,
lost.
Benji.
We lost.
We did lose. It was
Right,
our first
right.
year losing
But it was a
since
hell of a start.
2015,
It
but
was a great start.
You know?
Hey, you was winning.
I said, hold on, okay, Benji.
We're up 7-0 before the freaking clock started, man. This guy
Yes,
right here returned one. It was a great time. We love it. Every year it's a fun time, and it's always for a great cause. And I'm just excited to see what the future holds for it.
Wow. We really appreciate you guys coming up here and letting us know how the community's helping one another. And this is it's a great event that you're going to have that benefits Mott's Children's Hospital.
Absolutely. That's what it's about.
So, I mean, that's incredible. We really appreciate it. Sean, thank you.
Thank you.
I really
Thank you,
appreciate
Daddy. I
it. You
appreciate
coming
you
on
too,
and being
brother.
a part of this and
Yes, sir.
bringing
Well,
this
you're a
to
legend.
our attention.
You're a legend. So,
I am
not.
not. What's
on.
up?
What? You're not. Ain't no way. Ain't no way you can say that. What up, B? Ain't no way you can say that. Ain't no way, man. And this whole thing, started with you, and I appreciate you, for what you've done, and especially for going where you've come and then come back to being a part of what we're doing here and marketing, and branding what we do here at the university. There's no better, catalyst for what we're trying to do. I mean, you're a Michigan man, true and true, for what I say. And it always goes back to the things. Those that stay, will be champions. So you embody those things. And so I appreciate, though, just having the opportunity to be in your presence, be around it, and speak to you and extract wisdom from you in these times. So I appreciate you for just, where you are in life and what you're doing. So I love you, brother. And
those are kind words, very kind words, and I really appreciate that. And like I said, anything we can do, let us know. I mean, we'd have some fun. I can't promise you.
Get in the mud.
Get in the mud,
I ain't
baby.
getting in that mud.
Get in the mud. They want you in that mud.
No. All seriousness, we'd love to have you guys out there. If you guys are around that day, November 1st, keep it in mind. If you guys can be out there,
I'm gonna bring CJ.
Absolutely.
My 5-year-old son. I'm gonna bring him out there.
That's what I said. Last year I just missed it. I had a couple things going on. I just missed it. I got to do a couple pictures and some things with the guys. But this year I'm intending on, getting out there and making it and do, and being a part. Now I'm not getting in the mud. I can do the radio. I can talk.
His presence alone.
Yeah, I can do the radio. I can talk.
This guy,
good,
Sean. This is our second year golfing with Sean. I can't say enough about this guy. He's a great dude. He's been a lot of fun. He's been a lot of help. He's influenced how we do things. We love Sean, and
y'all
he's
guys
a great guy.
they make my game better. I'm not.
We do what we do.
Yeah. I can hit. I can do a thing. Over the day, but these guys make me look a little better.
Well, good. That's
yeah.
Take advantage of them young fellas with them young arms.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. They keep me young. They got the good music going, and it's a good time.
Yeah.
Out on the course, So with Charles and what Scotty has put together here for the hospital, and I had a son that was in Mott's Children's Hospital. Spent a month and a half.
Right.
Mott's Children's Hospital. He died 3 times. Had staph infection. Those type of things. But now he's at South Florida University playing tight end.
My God.
And so
you are blessed
for what Mott's can do for me, versus anything I can give back to them. At the time, my time, my energy, my financial, situation, anything that I can do, we're going to do that. We're going to do that. And so I appreciate where they are and what they do and how they do it. And being, 1 and 2 in the country, that's a hard place to be.
Right. Yeah.
That's top of the line. Right. And so, and I live in Ohio.
Right.
And so I get all of the OSU, I get all of the extras that go along with it.
It's been an easy 4 years for you.
I'm gliding, baby. I'm gliding.
Just doing your thing.
I'm at the top of the mountain. I'm looking down on these things.
Right.
I look, even with their national championship, I had to tell them, hey, anybody could have won that out the Big Ten.
Exactly.
You lost to Michigan, you lost to Oregon. Hey, any of us could have done that. So I'm tapping in to those places and stuff. I live right there in Canton, Ohio, by the Hall of Fame and those things. And so, for me, it's a homecoming.
Good
for me, and I enjoy it, every piece of it. And so, what Charles and what Scotty is doing for the alumni and getting us back together and doing what it takes there. I mean, I'm the ultimate, appreciative of what's going on. So, I appreciate it.
Well, we appreciate you. Again, I need to go to a break, and we'll come right back. You think we're gonna have Big Sweet? Your man's here. All right, I just want to make sure BG in here.
BG 2-time.
All right.
2-time Super Bowl.
Exactly.
2-time. One of them on Tommy boy. One of them with the sack on Tommy at the end of the game. He called it out before he did it.
You're listening.
Michigan on Michigan crime.
Yeah, that's what it is. Michigan on Michigan crime. That's what it was.
Yeah.
You're listening to the M Zone on the Big 1050.
This is the M Zone.
And welcome back to the M Zone Golf on Main. Jamie Morris, Brandon Brown. We got my man Big Sweet himself, Larry Lee, and our special guest in Brandon Graham. What's up?
We got royalty. We got royalty. We got U of M royalty right now.
Ira said before we came out, he said, "Look, if they say Brandon and start talking, they ain't talking to me." Talking to him.
Go ahead, Big Sweet. It's
well,
your man.
man, me and BG met a few years back. It was
up in Powell.
Powell, and I was just newly kind of retired out of the NFL in the front office, and we just became with the personality he has.
Oh,
and the fun-loving guy. We just stayed in touch, and every time I saw the Eagles make do something substantial, and every time I saw him, I hit him with a text. BG, man, love you, boy. Proud of you.
Yep.
He hit me back. Let's go.
Yeah. Hey, still that energy, baby.
Yeah, man. It felt the energy. So I felt like a proud uncle, watching his press conference when he retired. And, man, I was close to shedding a tear.
They caught me.
I bet. Man, 15 years and what you've accomplished. And the other thing I noticed, too, I saw the first time I think you played the Chiefs, and you went up to Andy, and what you said to Andy afterwards. That's classic, man. Coach, love you, man. You was my man. Andy, my boy, too. Me and Andy like this. Andy Reid is one of the most classiest, coolest guys you ever want to be around, man. And when I saw you at the end of the game and went up to him and hugged him, that little clip, I said, that's cool.
And it was cool, too, because with Andy, I had him I was young. So it was like he wasn't really messing with them young boys early. So it's like it was cool to see him early, and then the influence he had on me at a young age, and then he left. But it was still cool to see like he was just consistent. And that's the biggest thing, just being consistent with who he was. And I mean, never really held grudges. It was more about just handling business, trying to get a win. And I was happy that he actually finally got over the hump, because when he was here, I mean, we was always like, first round, second round, then we was out. And then the 2 years that I did play, or 3 years that I played with him, the last 2 was the bad years for him, and then he ended up getting out, going to Kansas City. But I was just proud of him, period. And so when we lost that game, of course, it stung, but I wanted to make sure that I went up to him
That
and,
was so
and showed him
classy,
some
man.
love
Yeah.
because, man, I mean, it was a long time coming on his run on what he's been doing right now.
Well, me and Andy go back to when he was an assistant coach at the Packers,
Mhm.
and I was in the front office of the Lions, and we would always see each other pregame, hug each other, laugh, joke, tell a few jokes. And at the combine every year, two big fellas, we find a way to get a meal in somewhere at the combine. Me and Andy Reid, and I think the world of Andy Reid. I am a huge Andy Reid fan.
Me too.
Yes,
I'm
I
with
am.
you on that because he is consistent and he just show love, man. And he's real and like when he say he's done with something, he's done with something. And that's what I like as a coach. When you say you done, you don't hold it over my head because we all make mistakes, even himself. So that's why I really admire about him.
So now you got that big R on your forehead. Retired.
Oh yeah.
Like
wait,
like us.
Maybe, you got to want to come back, don't you? I mean, you left you left it on the table.
I left it all on the table.
You give it all up, ain't nothing left.
It ain't nothing left. I don't have no regrets. And
That's
honestly, it's just me being selfish because I feel like I still was able to play at a high level, but I'm gonna play at a high level with my son, play at a high level with my kids, because I don't want to be broken up and I can't play with them. You know what I'm saying? But I am excited for what's to come. Had a great time. I mean, going out on top, it was a different feeling because, I mean, usually you go over the season, like how stuff go, but this year I couldn't ask for it to go even better, like as best as it went. I couldn't ask for more. So I'm more of like, man, let me just get used to this new schedule that's coming up.
Sure.
Because, I mean, that's really what I'm used to. I'm used to a schedule, and, I mean, now it's more of my kids now.
So in 15, you did pretty good relatively health-wise. You
yeah.
Know, you were there not a lot, right?
I mean, and I got hurt a couple years where it saved my body a little bit. And so I think that for me now, it's just more about, like, I'm working out to look good, make sure I'm staying nimble. because honestly, I know because right now, man, like I know how fast it was for me to gain weight when I was playing.
Right.
So it'll really be fast if I'm not doing nothing and not playing. So
you preaching to the choir.
Oh,
boy.
I know, man.
When
I
you
love
get
to eat.
65, 66 years old, and you said, "Where is sexy, man? Sexy is in there somewhere.
Sexy in there,
somewhere,
right under. You can feel it, but you can't see it.
Wait a minute. This week, do you realize Brandon Graham was the highest ranked linebacker in all of the state of Michigan? Okay,
it was
number
crazy.
one. Where would you go? You went to Henry Ford? No,
I went to Crockett.
Crockett. That's right. Yeah.
Yep.
Brandon Graham go home for the summer.
Yeah.
Okay. He comes back. I said, "Who that big offensive line? That defensive lineman over there?"
Yep.
They said, "That's Brandon Graham." I said, "Nah, Brandon Graham, he's a linebacker." Next thing I know, they said,
Well, I told them my University of Michigan linebacker story.
Yep.
I was an All-American offensive lineman in Dayton, Ohio. I came up on my recruiting trip to Michigan.
Yep.
My host was Calvin O'Neill. I come to the dinner, and there meet my host. This dude yoked up, man, 6'3", 250, talking about inside linebacker. I said, I'm a little high school offensive. I got to go against that every day?
Yeah,
I ain't going to Michigan.
Oh, yeah.
No. I ain't going to Michigan. I don't care what you say, Bo. I'm not coming. Look at Calvin O'Neill.
Like, look at that.
Look at
Trust
that.
me.
No.
But then you figure out it's all about what's in here. Because I done played with some big boys, and it's like,
that's true.
Oh man,
Soft
I thought he was like that. But then we like that.
That's
you
true.
know, but it's cool though, man. Like as a young man, I feel like, that's the learning curve that where you learn, like, man, everybody that look presentable, that's what get them coaches sometimes too.
Say, look like Tarzan, play like James.
Play like James.
That's it.
And that's what got them. Like some people I know got paid just off how they look.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
it'd be like the coaches be like, man, we got this guy, and this guy is not everything we thought he was. But
as an old lineman in college and the NFL, the guys that gave me the most trouble was the squatty bodies.
Oh yeah,
the guy that's 6 foot 240, 250, the Aaron Donald type.
Oh yeah,
you can give me a big old
6'1".
tall, long defensive end all day long. Other than LT.
Right. A guy like that.
A guy like that. There's exceptions to every rule, right?
Yep.
LT was 6'3", 250.
Yeah.
But man, played. I mean, he could play like he was
incredible.
Oh, he was my roommate
the
at the
best
East West
defensive
Shrine
player.
game.
What?
At the East West Shrine, we played in the East West Shrine.
Okay.
And he was my roommate. And LT, I haven't talked to him in a few years, but we keep it to whenever we see each other, the stories come out. Hey, you remember? Yeah, you remember LT? You remember? So you know how them old stories come out.
It's cool because I play with him every year at this.
You do his golf tournament?
I do the golf tournament, not his golf tournament, but he come in Hershey, PA.
Okay.
And we do like a championship style where we alternate shots, and it's like it's for Mid-Penn Bank, and that's the first time I've seen him, but it's been 3 years in a row where I've been coming, and he's been there every year.
Well, our class, arguably, 1981 draft class was the best draft class in NFL history. I'm gonna give you some names.
Hey, you know what?
Let me give you some names.
Let me hear.
Let me hear some names. Ronnie Lott.
Okay, you got one.
Ken Easley.
That's two.
Mike Singletary.
I'll give you that one.
Howie Long.
Well, damn.
Russ Grimm.
Okay.
Ricky Jackson.
Wow.
Larry Lee.
Hall of Fame. Well,
Larry Lee.
No, I'm talking Hall of Famers now.
Not yet. You ain't made it yet.
Did I say Singletary? Hugh Green.
Yep.
Dexter Manley.
Yep.
Our class was deep. Our 1980. Look it up. 1981 NFL draft class was ridiculous.
Wow.
Especially on defense.
That is
especially
impressive.
on defense.
I'm gonna say
We had a
that's
few.
impressive.
Russ Grimm was offensive lineman. Who else? Chris Collinsworth was in our class. We had some sharp guys, but defense, like I said, Ronnie Lott, Dennis Smith was another one.
Yep.
Jeff Fisher. Jeff was in our class.
Dang, Fisher, man, he was
the
a coach.
Jeff
with
was
the
in our
Titans
class.
when I went down there.
Chip Banks.
Yep.
Our year was loaded, man. Loaded.
Okay.
Loaded.
I will give it to
Our
you.
draft, arguably. Now, I think the 83 class was solid with all the quarterbacks.
That's all the quarterbacks.
That's all the quarterbacks.
Yeah.
But the 81 draft was crazy.
Wow.
Ricky Jackson, once again, Howie Long. I know I'm missing some guys. I'm missing some guys. LT.
Yep.
Yeah. Class 81. Yeah, NFL draft.
That man
so
changed
going against those guys,
he changed a lot.
He changed the whole.
He changed.
Remember, you used to just put a little running back like me out there taking all that.
It used to be the guard had a dual read.
Yeah.
If you had a bubble over you take, if the linebacker come, you take him. But
Right.
if not, you turn out.
Yeah,
Can't nobody take LT
He
with a running start.
He running
So they
down.
created the fan block.
Right.
That's when the
big
fan block.
tackles start taking them on.
LT changed the whole blocking scheme, man.
No, I understand, man, because he was a guy like my coach. He loved him, so we seen his highlights, and it was so crazy because some plays it looked like it was a repeat, but it wasn't.
No.
It's like
Let's do it again.
dang, like that looked like the same play before, but that's how he was.
Did you see the famous play they show all the time against the Lions? He came on the outside, came around the corner and grabbed Gary Danielson and spun, spun him like.
I mean, man, like he was a
I
little
was
girl.
in that game. It wasn't me. But I was in that game.
Be that interception, he went all the way back on.
Oh man,
LT was a
that
beast,
boy
man.
LT.
He was something else.
And
He
then
was
even
something.
now, he's still something.
Yeah.
Because even when you talk with him, it's just like, he still got that same feeling, like he can still do you the same way.
BG, I wanted to ask because I think it's very commendable now, rare these days. But your whole career with one team, how special is that? And I mean, you're hanging it up now. We joked a little bit. You said, "Oh, I hope they don't need me."
Yeah,
but you got to feel the love for that place, like no
I
other.
really do love Philly. At first, it was a little tough because they was calling me all kind of names in the beginning, but I mean, we stayed focused. I had people around me that really helped me during them hard times, and it was all perseverance. And then when we did win that first Super Bowl together, making that play on Brady, of course, Michigan on Michigan love, and it was cool to win one, and that changed my whole career, the whole trajectory of everything. And then I was able to meet like guys like what we was just talking about? LT.
Yeah.
And I got to meet him, and then I got to pick his brain a little bit.
Yeah.
And then I felt like my career got so much better after that. After I had that strip on Brady, every year was just so much better. And now going out on top, it's a great feeling, but it's a funny because now I got to find out my new schedule.
Yeah,
because that's really all
this,
it is.
Like,
It's like
this time of year,
been
you'd
on
be
that
about
schedule.
gearing back up.
I'm ready to
Yeah,
go
exactly,
right now. I was like, man,
Wait a minute, you ain't got camp. Where you gonna go?
I know. I ain't got
No
nowhere to go.
OTAs, no none
but
of
to
that.
my kids stuff. That's it.
But you know, over
But-
the years, the Eagles have always been respectable, and even like I said, I'm from Dayton, Ohio, and Keith Byers is from Dayton,
Oh,
Ohio.
yeah.
And Keith used to have a camp in Dayton where he'd bring all the Eagles. So Clyde Simmons, Seth Joyner, all of
Oh,
us
yeah.
were
Seth-
hang.
Seth
Reggie
still doing it.
Seth still
Man.
doing it, man. Gary
Yup.
Cobb, you know.
Yup.
All them Eagle guys, man. Ray Ellis. And we all go back and hang with each other, and the Eagles, and and that place.
Oh man,
them fans, and
Your
we went
fans
there.
don't- They still on the old school, and on top of that, I'm just the new school that's doing it now. But man,
I don't know if you were born or even a kid when the Lions played the Eagles in the playoffs and Lomas Brown guaranteed a victory. Man, them fans went crazy. They threw batteries at us.
Yeah.
They threw Lomas, and I never forget Ray Rose said, "Tell Lomas Brown there's only three things for sure: taxes, death, and trouble."
Hey,
you remember that was Marvin Gaye. Ray Rose with Marvin Gaye on him. And man, poor Lomas, man, I felt so bad for Lomas because we were hot. We went in there, and the Eagles beat us like stepchildren. Man.
for real.
Oh,
I mean,
they beat us so bad, and it was a playoff game, and man, but Eagles have always been respectable in my book, man. You know, especially after getting to know all the guys. Reggie used to come to our camp every year. Like I said, Seth, Clyde, what's my old Andre Waters?
Yep.
Muddy
Waters.
Yep.
What's the old safety that just passed away? Wes Hopkins.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Wes used to come in, and Keith would bring all them Eagles, and man, we'd have a ball.
And you know what? I just think it's a testament to how they run that organization because Mr. Lurie and all the like Howie and all them guys, like they really about toughness, but you got to be a good dude too. You know, it's like because like you say, you still mess with them guys, and I still mess with some of them old guys like Seth and all them.
Yeah.
Seth mean Seth, like
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
like
right.
but he ain't mean, but you know, he just got that look about him.
I
Like,
don't know.
yeah.
Seth wear Redskin color like I did.
Yeah.
He was mean.
Oh, he was mean
whatnot.
for sure.
Seth
sure.
was like what's the linebacker for the old Steelers?
Oh,
brother
Harris.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
James Harris.
Seth was
James
like Seth.
Harris.
That's him.
Seth didn't take no stuff, man.
Nah, and I like that about him. And he can play golf too.
James Harris has mellowed out a little bit.
Huh?
He's mellowed out.
Yeah, he's gotten better.
He's gotten
got
better.
better.
Yeah.
He's got the church in him now. He's
But Seth for sure,
Seth-
boy.
Seth
Even
was-
now, like he got
no.
that frown on his face.
Right.
Right. Like, you all right?
Yeah, yeah. Seth, that was Seth, man. And but we used to have a ball at the camp with all the guys, man, and the Eagles and Ray Ellis. You know, that's my homeboy. He's from Ohio, and
Yep.
you know, Ray went to Ohio State, and we played each other, and we still keep in touch. Me and Ray Ellis talk on the regular, man. And
Yep.
we talk about the Eagles all the time. And
Nah, I love that,
it's
man.
I bet, yeah, it's a fraternity.
Mhm.
It's a fraternity. It's a camaraderie you'll never forget.
Yep.
Yeah, and we'll never lose. Even your draft class guys, your draft class
Right.
guys, you stay in touch, man, over
Yep.
the years, and then you start getting business minded by understanding the benefits we got coming to us as an alumni. And if I can help you in that way, you
Yep.
know, because there's a lot of things, you know, now that you're retired,
Yeah.
you have that you didn't have as a
Yep.
player.
that you didn't know you
that you
had.
didn't
That
know
you
you
didn't
had.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's getting better. It's getting better.
It is
you know.
getting a lot better.
It's getting
Yeah.
better.
A lot better.
Yeah. So
No, it's really cool because I'm always about that too. Like, you know, the older guys, because y'all paved the way. Like
Yeah.
a lot of guys that I started with really helped me focus,
Right.
you know, and get this. Like, cause you know how it be. It's, you come in young sometimes, and you don't really appreciate every little
Right.
thing that you're going through. And so, you know, I had guys that really like helped me in the moments where I was going through that bus label, and you know, it's like, look, how you practice is how you do everything. And so I'm like, hey, that I kind of kept the chip on my shoulder every time. And now it's cool because now what paved the way for me, I'm helping pave the way for other guys. And it's like y'all seen us work every day. Every day this year, I felt like it was more like we built to that because at first everybody wasn't like rocking with each other. I would say everybody knew the work, but now I felt like by the end we was more sad that it was over because of how we built to have that togetherness we had. And man,
anything worthwhile takes sacrifice.
It do.
Right.
It do.
Any
It does.
worthwhile. If it doesn't take sacrifices, it ain't worth the thing.
And that's what happened this year. A lot of sacrifice.
I got a question I got to ask. Are you
Okay.
the best player in NFL history at being mic'd up? That's got to be you.
You know what? I ain't gonna say that. I'm just more of a. For me, I just do it.
Those
the
are
way
some of the best
I can stay
clips ever,
consistent
man.
with what I do. You
Yeah.
know, and I'm just trying to get in your head. Like, even if you are better than me, I'm just trying to get in your head
Right,
because it's more about if you're thinking about me on this play, you're gonna make a mistake.
Right.
And I'm gonna be right there.
Man,
to
you pull
make
those
that
up
play.
on YouTube. Like, if you're not a Brandon Graham fan, you will be after that, man. Those are great.
Oh yeah, we had some fun, man. It's really about having fun out there.
Yeah,
We playing the
got
game.
to. It's a kid's
Now,
game.
now you know I'm a BG fan, big BG fan, but I don't know. That title might have to go to John Randall.
Oh, I can believe that. That's why I say like I don't want to.
You right about
I don't
that.
wanna say
That's
it.
all he
Hey,
did.
for
John
real.
Randall. I'll never forget, man. I was in the front office of the Lions.
Mm-hmm.
It was Charlie Batch's first start as a starting quarterback for the Lions. We're playing the Vikings in Minnesota. You've probably seen these clips.
He was an animal.
Charlie come out and John Randall, hey Charlie, hey Charlie. Oh man, and John Randall rolled Charlie Batch the whole game. Talked about his mama, his family.
Oh, man.
Oh man, I was like,
Yes,
and
he
I-
killed him.
He killed it already.
We lost. And after I walked off the field and I gave Charlie a hug. I said, Charlie, that's the worst
That's
you're
just
going to
gonna-
see
yeah.
in the NFL. There's nothing else worse
Nothing
than any of
else.
that. They blitzed you like crazy. They talk noise to you like crazy. It gets better from there.
Yep.
You know,
Because you ain't gonna never hear it at that level.
well, John Randall talk more stuff than the Chinese radio.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
He did.
He did, man.
No,
John,
he did.
And let's see if my LT could talk with the best of them too.
Don't make him
from
mad.
my era.
LT.
Really, that's
just
what
don't
it was.
make him mad.
Don't make him mad.
Yeah.
Because he hate getting cut block. He goes,
Oh,
hey,
yeah.
I know your brother, so I'm gonna let you go on that one. You cut
Uh-huh.
me again. I'm gonna get your little butt. I'm gonna get
See,
your
that-
little
that-
butt.
Because you seen them twice a year.
Oh,
You- with
yeah.
the Redskins.
Yes.
Well, see,
And
that's
I
a
didn't see
cardinal
them
sin.
twice a year, but the Eagles seen them twice a year.
That's a cardinal sin. Defensive lineman's legs. You know.
Oh yeah.
And the old lineman, you know, we get near your legs. I never get my rookie year. We're playing the Raiders in preseason, so I'm going against. It was Matuzak and what's the Alzado.
Okay.
And man, I go to cut Alzado. Alzado looked at me and said, "Rookie, don't you ever go near my damn legs again. You hear me? I will F you up."
Yep.
And I said, and that was Lyle Alzado just talk
Yep.
shit to me.
Right.
Excuse me.
Yep.
And I'm like, oh my God, and, you know.
I
And we
understand.
broke the huddle. I saw Matuzak. I saw what was the big old Stork linebacker?
What's his name?
Then they
Ted
had
Hendricks.
Hendricks.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm a rookie going. I guess I'm in the NFL. now.
Exactly.
Uh-huh. You in the
just-
NFL.
Look at them
You
dudes.
just saw it.
Them
Yeah.
dudes I used to watch.
Right.
You know? Alzado, Stork, Matuzak, and it was somebody else. I was like, oh my God.
Man, it's so cool to hear them old names, man.
Oh
because,
man, yeah.
like, even for me, like now going through what I'm going through, like being retired, it's like how fast you forget them names.
Right.
That used to conquer the league. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And be the man in the league. Like right now, Saquon is the number one
Yep.
guy
Yeah.
on our team, and then Jalen Hurts, all them guys. But it's like that's how fast it just shut off.
That's what
you know?
happens.
And
Yeah,
so
that's true. You're right.
that's why I'm like, I'm embracing it because honestly, I'm happy on what I did up
Right.
to this point.
Oh yeah.
And it's cool that other people is making their names for themselves because
Mhm.
that's all I really was about. Even when we was done, it's like, man, serving them young boys.
Yeah.
Because man, when y'all get to y'all where y'all going, y'all realize like how fast like you better enjoy it because it goes off just like that.
I gotta ask AJ
Mhm.
Green.
Oh yeah,
Is he that?
you
is
talking
he-
about receiver?
Yeah, the wide
Oh.
receiver.
Oh yeah,
Real deal.
yeah, he was real deal when he was playing. And it's been a minute. Oh, you talking about AJ,
AJ
Brown?
Brown.
AJ Brown.
Yeah,
I'm
I know
sorry,
who you're talking
Brown.
about. Yeah, no, that boy number one receiver for real.
Just
You
going-
know, and I love to see him out there balling and doing this thing. And you know,
Reading
he's
his
a
books
game
on the
changer.
sideline.
Oh
Reading
yeah,
his
all
books,
that
doing
good stuff.
everything.
All that good stuff. You know, this year was as a captain of the team, one of the captains. It's like, you know, it was cool to see a lot of guys take that next step in their career and know how
Right.
to work.
Yeah.
Because as you know, man, like it's a daily commitment. It's a daily commitment, and every day ain't always good. But sometimes you got guys that you trust and that you work with that can get the best out of you on certain days that you don't have it. And so I'm happy that AJ, for him, they giving him his flowers right now because he definitely worked hard. And I love
I love your QB.
Oh yeah, Jay Hurts, man. I love the hate that he gets
He's just steady. He's like an old soul.
Old soul.
He's like I don't know him.
No, but he
I
is
can just
what
tell
you see.
he's like an old soul. Just smooth, confident, cool. Good to see all that's happening for him because he has some turmoil, college and
even
everything.
in college,
and that kind of thing. But he's a pro. Pro's pro. I love him, man.
Yep, and that's why I say like he keeping consistent on what he can do every day. And he ain't worried about what everybody got to say because at the end of the day, he got a ring.
Right.
So he like by the end of this year, we can see they still gonna be talking, but I got a ring.
Yeah.
So hey, there it is.
Now,
so
now he's putting the family together. Got the wife. Yeah. I love him, man. It'd have been fun playing with him.
No, it was fun
It'd have been fun.
because when you see like what I've learned from all these guys too, it's like be consistent with what you can keep up. Like I try to stay doing what I do because I can be consistent with it. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to be nobody else. Because in the league sometimes they want you to be what this guy was or this guy. It's like, no, I'm gonna do it the way I do it because I can only be consistent with that. And so that's how Jay is. Like Jay, they want like being in that number one position. Sometimes they want you to go outside the box and do all this stuff. It's like, no, he gonna lead the way he want to lead. And for me, I was like a supporting cast where I was more of the vocal guy, and he was the more of the show. I'm gonna show you about what I do every day and consistent with that. And so, I mean, we played off each other, and that's why we got a good relationship because I'm more of the social butterfly, what people say, like more able to talk, break it down. Hey, y'all, blah, and then ready break on 3. And that's it. But he was more of like the guy that want to show you about what he do in the game, and he didn't want to talk about it. So I love that about him, and that's what you got to accept people for who they are. You know what I'm saying?
Thing I noticed about y'all, I wasn't sure, and this is just me as an OG. I wasn't sure how to take your coach at first.
Oh yeah.
But then as the season started going and I started reading more clips about him and hearing some of his quotes and different things, I said, yeah, he's changed up. The one incident where he was disputing with the fans. He finally figured out how to get over that. And
he likes to fight with the fans, huh?
Because he a man too. And when people talking stuff, of course, like it takes a big man to be able to be like, what?
If there's any fans that gonna give it to you,
they gonna give it to you.
It's the Philly fans.
And then he went back at him, and it didn't go like he wanted it to go. And so he like, you know what? Let me back off a little bit because I understand. You want to let them know, like I ain't no punk, but it's like, look, you can't worry about all that. You just run your team. And be consistent on running your team. And then when we win a Super Bowl, all is forgiven. Ain't nobody talking about all that.
And the more I can start listening to him and watching him and, being an ex-executive and all that, I said, you know what? That's a good dude, man.
Yeah, no, he is, man. Dude. And I'm happy. Every year he's gotten better.
And I know Howie, I've been in, from the front office days and, they got a good. There's a good scenario in Philly.
It is, man. That's why I think if it ain't the Lions this year, if it ain't us, it's the Lions this year.
Even your boy Gilly.
Oh yeah, Gilly
from Philly. He took
over.
He took it to
another level. He took it to another level for real.
He took it to another level. So that's all good and fine, man. That's great for the city, great for the sport, great for the NFL.
No, it's been great. BG, I know you got a.
Yeah, I know. I'm He hitting him. He hitting him.
Man,
but man,
love you, little bro. Yes, sir.
I appreciate y'all for real. It's been cool to just see, man. Even for you, man, you out here still killing it, man. When I come back and see everybody, I just want to see familiar faces on top of the new guys.
Right.
Where we bridge the gap, and it's like, look, this is what we've been doing for a while. And y'all been doing it for a while too.
I'm the Ohio boy, but I bring that West Coast UCLA SC perspective. So we're all family.
And as long as you ain't talking on Ohio, man, you good. You good with us.
Tell them. That's right. Tell them.
You ain't talking about the Ohio stuff. You good with us.
I defected. I didn't go to Ohio State. I went to UCLA.
Oh yeah.
And Woody Hayes cussed me out.
Oh yeah. So
he let me have it. But I'm not. I love Ohio just like I love Michigan. you know, I'm a Ohio boy, but
I understand.
I've been in Michigan
I heard
a
you say
long
Ohio,
time.
so I was like, he ain't really claimed that
I
Ohio,
ain't-
that other state up
I
there.
ain't
No,
no,
he didn't
I ain't
claim
got
it.
no,
He good.
no Buckeyes on my helmet.
Hey,
or
it's
nothing
all
like
good.
that.
You know where you at right now.
That's right. That's where he knows where he at right now.
Hey, but no, I appreciate you,
No,
Larry,
good
man.
stuff, man.
Thank you,
Yes,
man.
sir.
As
Yes, sir.
always,
Thanks,
I
BG.
appreciate
Get
y'all,
on out of
man.
here. Do
Thank
your
you.
thing. Appreciate
Yes,
it.
sir.
Uber's been sitting for a minute, huh?
Hey, go blue. Let's go.
All right.
Oh yeah, I
Good
appreciate
stuff.
y'all.
That's all
All right.
right. Thanks, BG.
Well, we'll see you
Really
on the
appreciate
retired
it.
circuit.
We will. Wow. That
Take
was a
care,
great
BG.
interview. We love
Yeah,
that. That
man.
was good,
My
good,
boy
good.
BG.
I mean, I don't know what he's planning to do, but he can put one of these on.
Oh,
he can
very
put one of
easy.
these headsets on any
Don't
day.
get me started.
Absolutely.
I mean,
Don't-
I'm telling you.
We'll be a
That's
big,
what I said.
we're going to be a ragtag group.
I just got here, man. Now you're trying to get rid
Hey,
of me?
See?
Look,
See?
there's only probably room for one Brandon, and it wouldn't be me. We already established that.
That's right.
So,
You've been listening to the M Zone here at Travis Point.
what a day.
What a day it was. And want to thank Miz back at the crib. Thanks, Miz. We really appreciate it.
Great
Also,
job today, guys.
Derek and Bobby, always good.
What a
You've
team.
been listening to the M Zone on the Big 1050.
All right.